baby.
See, we ramble on.
Appreciate that. All right, guys, send them off, Joey.
Leafs Kings tonight. I wouldn't be surprised if they drop 4 in a row, but we'll stay optimistic.
They dropped 3 in a row? Oh, boy. That's no good.
They're second last in the conference, like 5th last in the league, yeah.
How? What, like, did the team change fundamentally?
Well, I mean, they lost, like, probably their second best player.
Nylander, right?
No, Marner. Yeah, Marner to Vegas. But I don't know.
Yeah, but, like, one player does all that for
apparently, these guys can't get it together. So, yeah, that's a tough look, guys. Looking forward to the fights this weekend.
All right, guys. See everybody at the big desk.
I thought that was Sean and me there saying short 400. Damn.
What the? Hey, there it is. Seamless. Look behind us.
We got the Maple Leafs here. We're ready for tonight, but I agree. No, I'm not. I've actually nice chess. Actually, daughter has hockey, son has chess. 2 nights.
Free. Yeah, we have nothing tonight.
Yeah. So tonight, it must be. I don't know if it must be a home game. I don't know. I didn't even know the Leafs.
Is it a home? I have no idea. I don't even know.
It doesn't.
The market is Lead City. I love that look of the board behind us because now you can just tell. I mean, I can look at the symbol, but I have no idea what that second one is.
I had a bad feeling today about this market. I said this yesterday at this time, or it was in the after show, that like it just didn't feel like this market yesterday in the afternoon felt like we did have some downside play. We're short Tesla right now, $3 in the money, and we just, we sat down here 1 o'clock, shorted Tesla on this 400 break, got it 3 or 4 times, and there it goes, man. Huge trade there. While we were swimming, we got stopped out like right there. We didn't go swimming today when we went to the gym, but right there, 105. It's too bad because then it goes all the way to the downside. But we flip over our game now and short Tesla. It's the craziest part is the amount of money that I lost shorting AMD, which is now obviously in the gutter. I mean, who thought? Put your hand up if you thought Tesla down 8% today. I mean, we didn't even. I had written down short Tesla. But that was $435 ago. So, yeah, nice move to the downside here for TSLA. Congratulations, anybody that had this short. It's moving dollars now. I'm going to stop out of the rest. I only have 30% left. We're going to stop out if it breaks 4 bills. But, yeah, right now, Tesla definitely hitting it down to that downside. Good trade there. And what's up, Sadie and everybody? You guys, you heard me here. We can put it even in the chat. I mean, you guys heard me talk about that yesterday. Look, it's just experience and whatever, but it is what it is right now. Here it is right here. Send this one. Thanks, Sadie, for that one. Yeah, we did call it that we had some concerns today about the market, which is why I was short everything. It's too bad we wound up losing there on AMD, but we do have this move here on Tesla to the downside. So let's see, man. Maybe we print. My next bid is 395.55. So we'll see if we can get into the 95 area right there. My best out is 396.50. Yeah, that's it, man. It's you did anything during the lunch hour or
250 break AMD and then Bitcoin 100. But I'm out of both of those. Like Nvidia AMD broke the 250. It was pretty clean. Like the same place that it bounced off. I mean, you had that long yesterday is where it bounced off of. Wasn't the low of the day. But I was jumping at it 248 because that was where I thought the buy was yesterday. I'm like, okay, well that spot right there. We'll just jump out of it. And then Bitcoin also lost 100. Oh, yeah. Like it's funny enough, oddly enough, I'm actually trying. Oh, okay, you just got back into Bitcoin. IBIT, I should say. Bitcoin's at 98.6, but this isn't exactly 100. Like it's 100 kind of up here. So kind of broke 100, came back, and when I'll zoom back in. So broke 100, came back, and then when it broke down underneath, it was like 99.5 or something, where it really started to flush, and that was the level. Now I'm just going to play it off of this 56 even, which is like 98.8 or something, just for some scalp trades. But what's weirding me out is I wasn't at my desk when this happened on gold. So I'm going to look for if anybody, was this just technical? What happened? And because silver did the same thing too. And it was a heavy drop, monster volume. Not really sure specifically if it was like just a pure technical thing. I'm thinking continuation here. If there was some kind of a headline that caused this move, but if nothing happened and this was technical, it's not a good sign in markets when you have technical breaks that just end up looking like this in the middle of the day. Like it's what you call like a mini flash crash on gold and silver. So I don't know. I wasn't sitting I wasn't sitting at the desk. Maybe it was some kind of a change in sentiment about the December cuts. I don't know. I was up for about 15 minutes. Either way, not looking very healthy in the markets at all. Oh no, and the one thing that was looking strong, again, Apple was trying to get to VWAP, and it's right back heading toward the low. Apple's been one of the stronger ones today, just not anymore. Yeah, so I guess, yeah, maybe it's just look, the dollar's heading up and gold going down.
Lots of situations.
I guess it wasn't a headline.
We had the dollar index on our board here previously, so that would make a little bit of sense. If there's something about that, something about Mary. Remember that movie? That had Brett Favre in it. That had Cameron Diaz. There's something about Mary. That was a
Ben Stiller. Oh,
that was a good one. Cameron Diaz was decent in that movie.
That was back when. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Back when what?
She was a big star at that moment.
Oh yeah. Yeah, she did that, and she also did
The Mask. It was a couple of years after.
Yeah, and then what was that? Lucy Liu, there, Drew Barrymore.
Yeah, but that sucked.
Well, what was it called? Charlie's Angels. That's what it was.
Sucked.
Yeah, Cameron Diaz. Oh boy,
I thought it was terrible.
Yeah, probably was terrible, Neil. All right, Shreve, just getting all set up now. Look, I mean, I'm just going to be sitting in this Tesla trade, and like we said, it was great to have had that opinion yesterday on the market and to have this short. I mean, we were just short. Yeah, perfect. We were just really short right into there, right? And then boom. Too bad that we got stopped out. I didn't even have any bids out there, so it would have been still nice to be in this. Got stopped out at 106.50. Now down $2 from there, $2.50 from there. So that would have helped the old net. But yeah, we're just going to go short here. We did leave you the first time. I have not traded any Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac since this happened. But when we brought it to you earlier, it was sub $8. Now it's 9,950 was the high for Fannie Mae. So this name got crushed. It was down 20% there at one point when we threw it over to Adara for some questions. Yeah, down here.
But all the way back.
That's what I'm saying. Almost all the way back.
Okay.
All the way back.
Nothing can stop me.
Nothing can stop this stock except for maybe lots of things. But here we go back up to the upside now for Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. So if you're into that, there you go. So yeah, it looks like Tesla, Shreve just yelled at us, is going to be the #1 topic coming soon. So get ready for that. We're excited to cover everything.
It's never a secret anymore, though, because it's right behind us.
Oh, what's going to be on it?
It's going to be Tesla. Oscar, it's going to be Meta. Come on, what is that? What is that? On ONDS? Never heard of this.
No, we never heard of that. But that's on the list, so we will cover everything, of course, on the list for you
look
guys
it up now,
today.
Right?
Yeah, we'll get that going. I'm just slowly watching everything here as we start to fade out just a little bit. We still have our trade on Tesla, and that's sort of what we're thinking. It's now at 397. I might just get out of a piece again right now. It keeps on bouncing around here. All right, put a bid here, 10% out. There it is. We get the 80s. All right, man, it's 350 in the money. It's too bad because we still should be short the futures, but we're not. There goes Tesla. My next bid is 395.50. So far, so good here as we really battle back today from that early loss. All right, we are ready for the rundown right there. Yeah, wow. I still can't believe Tesla's below 400. I have a feeling we're going to talk about that right now. Let's go over to Sharif.
Welcome to the Afternoon Rundown, the show where you decide what we talk about every afternoon. The big boys locked and loaded, and they're ready to look at the tickers as decided by you. But the only way to get those tickers right there is to get into the chat and vote every day. But you got to throw in that $ before the ticker of your choice, but make sure to throw that on there. Whew. It is a bad day in the markets today, guys. Everything in negative territory. 2 1/3 goes the Nasdaq down, barely holding on to 25,000 with the low 25,012. So we'll have to see how the day closes out. The ES not faring much better either, down 1 1/3% and giving up 6,800, barely holding on here, guys, to 6750. We'll have to see again where we close out. The best performing major average of the day is the Dow Jones Industrial, down below 47.7 at the moment, 47.69, but it did make all-time highs yesterday. With the Russell 2000, again, really giving it up. The worst performing major average of the day, down a little bit less than 2 3/4, and most notably giving up 2,400 points as a key area of support. The first ticker, though, as decided by you, TSLA. Look, guys, I thought we were going to go SSR. I looked over to the Katina man when he was short. I said, look, we're 7.5 in the red, and we're below 400. 396.34, guys, is the low of the day. There aren't really too many, there's not too many in terms of headlines on Tesla. There is this Powerball batteries over fire hazard. So Tesla recalls Powerwall 2 batteries over fire hazard. Nothing to do with electric vehicles, but it is just a negative look on the day, guys. So Tesla below 400.
Who's that?
Yeah, I know, yada yada batteries. I don't know, but yeah. So we were talking about this stock for a minute. I mean, it's written down here as it was written. Shout out to my guy Nas again, of course. But we wrote it right down here. I was going to get it open for you. That we were looking at Tesla today for sure. And I said even about that 420 break right into here. 430, 431 short, looking to get legit. Watch out for that 420 level there, lower in the pre-market. Let's see where we go. I mean, it was just kind of a easy look at Tesla, but it doesn't mean that we had that short because we didn't. We only shorted it once it finally broke through 4 bills. So this was something that I don't think I was expecting today. Tesla down 8%. Like maybe there is something about that battery story there, but I don't know. I'm going to still stay short in this. I just told you my next bid is 395. But as I've been saying that, we are taking some more outs because it doesn't seem like it wants to break back down below this 396. Let's just see if it happens. Hopefully it does. And then we'll be able to deal with it after that. But for right now, Tesla continues to grind lower here. And yeah, I'm happy to be in it. So let's stay short until we break through 400 and then we can get out of that one. But for right now, it's so far so good here on this trade. It's Tesla, it's going downside.
Yeah, one-way ticket to 370 at least. Not today, maybe, but obviously. But you know, it was hanging out for a while, and these things can break either way. You know, it's bullish if it breaks up, it's bearish if it breaks down. There's no support until theoretically 370, and then the 200-period moving average. And this is kind of like this is what happens when you break, and we're used to it in the bull market where we've had a lot of these break to the upside. Unfortunately, you know, it's just all downside right now on Tesla, but also the market. But yeah, like you said, if you had like 7 or 8% on your bingo card, like this morning, it's weird because this morning it's like, yeah, okay. I think the Nasdaq, after the start we had, 2% seems pretty, like the way we've been going, getting to 2% is inevitable when we have a red day. But that didn't mean that I thought Tesla would be down 8 points and trending the way that it has. So I'm surprised by it. I think it fell a little bit faster than I would have expected. And usually only ever talk about it in this context. Like even like, you know, Rivian had been pretty darn strong, and that was ripping faces off in the morning to the upside, and it's down 7%. So it's not like you're not getting away with much of anything today on the long side. And Tesla, there's much more room for it to go. You have to remember the more forward thinking you are with this stock in the future, there's a reason you're almost nuts when you don't trim anything or take profit. Like it was pretty clean. The 220 based out at a 50% gain, and the 220 based out at 100% gain. Those were like obvious places if you were a buyer down there to have trimmed position or taken some profit or sold if you didn't really like it, all that stuff. And maybe we get a dip buy when we get back to some of those levels, and we might find that out next week. Now let's talk about the stock up there that nobody know what that is.
All right, guys, ONDS, Ondes. These guys make drones as well as wireless, private wireless systems, as well as automated data, but it's probably the drones that Mark is looking at here. Anyway, they reported earnings in the morning, and it was a fantastic look. They reported a record revenue of $10.1 million, more than 6 times what they printed last year, and they also boosted their full year 2025 guidance, guys, up to $36 million, up from the prior forecast of 25. The market rewarding them.
Yeah, well,
okay. I just got some more Tesla at 397. So you go ahead with ONDS, man. I heard it's one of your favorite stocks.
No, I mean not really. The market's rewarding them, but you know, even for like a small capper that's done a couple 100 million shares, or going to do a couple 100 million shares today, like it's even unabated. Like you could have made your day essentially just shorting this when it stopped the uptrend. You could have just started shorting at 1030 and it went 7 to like 640. Never really hurting you in any single way. It's underneath the volume weighted average price. The good news is, well, it fell into earnings, not dissimilar to what like BBAI's chart looked like. Fell into earnings, went to like a $5 level, and then a higher low being put in. but it just rejected, and another point is it just rejected the 50, so lower high, rejecting the 50 period. It's not super bullish if we close underneath 650 and you're closing underneath VWAP. This doesn't even profile as like a small capper on a red day that you can trade long in the afternoon. It's not even one of those because it's under VWAP and fledgling. The volume's still solid, so like, it could bounce, I suppose. But unless we pick it up soon, you know, just sort of, yeah, I can't even think about wanting to be long one of these. If it breaks down, it could absolutely flush, and without volume picking up or an underneath VWAP, I'll stay away. Just too many. There's nothing that looks good to the long side right now that I can find anyways.
All right, I'm trying to figure out what to do with this Tesla trade here. So I just got some more out again at O's. I don't know, it just doesn't want to break it. I also don't want to get out of everything. Like I made that mistake of getting out of the Qs just by putting a stop order in because I left, which I think is a responsible thing to do. But I'm still thinking that it looks like we may have bottomed out just a little bit here. The futures are coming right back into some levels here. Again, that's 25,000. I joked about 25,000 earlier today. I cannot believe I'm not in this short still. That's a kicker for me because we were short up here. But anyways, we don't have that still. But let's just wait to see what happens now with Tesla. I'm going to put, what about just right into here? 3, yeah, okay. I hate to do this, but I want to get out of some profit. Like we've already got out. I only have 30% left, but let's get out of 50% if it does get back up to 380, 398.50. Just going to do it and not worry about it. So, all right, that's that trade. Let's go back over, talk about OpenDoor. Neil just covered that ONDS, and we'll see what's going on from there. I still can't believe I'm not in this short.
Yeah, guys, down 6 1/3 here on OpenDoor after, you know, the property tech sector sentiment shift, says this article. But we also know that this new CEO, Kaz Nejatian, did add about $1 million worth of stock on not yesterday's open, the day before. Also supporting the recent move up there since the 7th was President Trump's 50-year mortgage plan, as well as JP Morgan maintaining their overweight rating, guys, on OpenDoor with a price target of $8.
Yeah, well, maintain that $8. You're still in the money at that level on the $8 for OpenDoor. You know what though? Like OpenDoor, at least the daily chart looks better for OpenDoor. Like this pullback doesn't even look that bad. Like maybe it makes some shorts feel a bit better about like the highs and the 950 level. But given what it did since earnings, like as long as it holds $8, that's still pretty bullish. So it obviously isn't that bullish today. It's still under VWAP like every other. Show me a small capper that's doing volume that's above the volume weighted average price. I'd love to see it. I think that would be fun to try to look at something like that this afternoon if nothing really happens except for a slow grind down. But open, as long as we hold 8, maybe even 850 looks pretty good for tomorrow. You can maybe get some continuation. Like squeeze plays can have a little bit different of a vibe, I suppose, in this type of a market scenario. So yeah, the shorts are still, I'd say the shorts are still a little bit scared here until we get back underneath $8. If we hold that, I'd probably come in trying to go long again. I tried it off the $9 level. Once that failed, I'm like, I'm done with that stock. It just couldn't hold. So I didn't trade it a second time, and it's just trended down ever since. So there's no reason to go long today, but there's at least a glimmer of hope that this isn't making a top, right? Like you still have a chance that we could squeeze tomorrow.
Yeah, I still like OpenDoor. I mean, obviously with a day like today, as we talked about it yesterday, was not feeling good about heading into today's trade. And, you know, OpenDoor still actually holding out pretty good. I mean, the fact that OpenDoor is only down 6%, I feel like it could be down a lot more than that. So, yeah, so far so good there if you are an OpenDoor shareholder. I think you're fine with this kind of a move. I mean, you've had a nice little run up there. The fact that you're only giving this back right now, I think that's great. And it just hit such a key level. I mean, we talked about that 9,950. Like, you got to look at these levels. If there's anything that you're going to learn, we're going to have the Academy out soon, which is going to be huge. But, like, these kind of levels like that, you got to really just watch out for that. I don't know, like that was a good sort of out that we could have had right there. Even despite the market puking today, if you could have sniffed anything out of that, you would have been fine. So yeah, for me, I think it was a pretty easy one there to look back at the chart and see where the out was. So if we get a bump up tomorrow, which still not really feeling that good about that either, that would be something, a level to look out for, man. 930 now, maybe, you know, a little bit lower than 950. Yeah, good day for OpenDoor, I think, and you know, congratulations anybody that's had that the last couple days. They'll be back, don't worry. I feel like these names aren't going anywhere. The market's like spiked, the volatility spiked today. These names are going to continue to get traded, man. I mean, I haven't even looked at Big Bear AI. Beyond Meat was like a runner last month. So these names will just keep on feeling some kind of ways, right? And so don't leave them alone. OpenDoor, good day today, down 7%, but I think it could be a lot worse considering the market.
Yeah, guys, Meta and Apple, the only two names, well, Apple just went green, but Meta, the only name actually under 1% red. It's down 0.48. Introducing today collections and testing collaborative buying on Marketplace. I personally haven't tested it out myself. Separately, for, talk about, you know, being bullish when everything seems glum. Meta Platforms added to the best ideas by Wedbush. Wedbush is adding Meta Platforms to the firm's best ideas list and maintaining a price target of $920 on the outperform rated stock. They say sentiment has eased following the Q3 results, with investor caution building around the greater expense and CapEx trajectory by the company. So Meta barely holding on to the November 7th lows when we got down to 601 and change, boys.
Yeah, well, remember the last.
I thought this was going to break.
Well, it's weird that this didn't go. Like, it's, you know, I mean, Apple, I can wrap my head around when Apple's relatively strong in this market. When the market pulls back and all the AI and the froth goes, we've been talking about why Apple gets a little bit insulated. Now, Meta, on the other hand, this is a weekly chart. When we get extra volatility, one of the things I was mentioning is almost all the time I want to look at personally, like the next level chart, like more time on the 15-minute chart for day trades when you have extra volatility, more time on a weekly chart or a monthly chart, and that kind of a thing. So that's what I'm looking at here with Meta. And the last time on the weekly that you're under the 50 period, it consolidated underneath and looked really bad. And then it broke out. So I think we're in the, let's see where we consolidate first, and then worry about whether it gets back with the 50 period. It's starting to get that valuation where it's not bad. It's already I think it's already the cheapest Mag 7 one, or at least close to it. And as you drop further, it'll start to make even more sense. And that's the kind of time where it sucks, but you want to get that kind of a pull. Like when once you get this for a couple of weeks on this weekly, which it did for a month last time, I think that's going to be the spot to add again. And of course, even when you get back above the 50 on the weekly is another place to go. A little surprised that 600. Maybe we have something going on with that tomorrow on a Friday. Because I thought, for sure, with the market breaking out, it seemed like that was going to take that next leg. For whatever reason, it didn't. And it's actually bouncing pretty decently now. So there's some defenders, I guess, at $600 on Meta. Can they hold through expirations tomorrow? We'll see.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, I thought, you know, if I could have put money on it, I would have thought Meta was going to break before Tesla breaks. And of course, Tesla is the one that goes to 400. That wasn't even really on our radar, but the 600's been on the radar for a while. And we just talked about it earlier today. Neil just zoomed out and had a quick look. So I don't really have anything to add to this discussion right here. I mean, I don't really like the stock at this level. I would rather it go through its problems and then, you know, maybe get it figured out in a couple minutes or something. But yeah, for right now, I'm staying away from Meta. It is that falling knife right here, and it kind of does. It looks similarly to what Tesla looks like right now. We're hearing Trump talking in our ear right now, so you know, we'll get that all figured out. Just he's planning to attend Davos next year. That's not a big thing here, I don't think, for most, but that's what he's talking about. Yeah, Meta right here to the 200 period. Wonder if this is a short right here as the market tries to battle themselves right back to the upside here, although we're still down that 2.1%. Nasty day, one of the worst days in the Nasdaq here we're experiencing. So.
Outside of Liberation Day, how many have been worse than this?
I don't know. This is not bad. I mean, we still might not even be done yet. I still can't believe I'm out of that short, but we're still short. So we got out of half of our Tesla. Remember, we didn't have that much left. So right here comes Tesla right back up to 400. The $400 level doesn't really mean anything. We've gone back and forth with it. If anything, it was going to be this 403, 404 area that we look to maybe reshort if something does come through. But this is the 50-period moving average on Tesla right now on the 200-period moving average, and we haven't really. Sorry, this is the 50-period on a 5-minute chart. That's 402.50. So that to me, like, you know, it's been pretty good. Like we broke there, fell down, we kind of broke it back to the upside. There's the break again. Not much happening yesterday afternoon, and then whap to the downside. So we don't have many shares left. I think I'm going to wait 402.50, see if we can get some more short in and around there. All right.
Before we go to AMD,
go AMD, yep.
I was scalping IBIT, or Bitcoin IBIT here, but we just broke 99. So when we broke 99,000, that's the out. Little scalping down at the bottom. Had the short at 100 or just underneath 100. That might be the next place to look for. Like if we come to 100 and roll over, maybe. But it seems like there's a little bit of a turn happening here. So I'm out of that scalp short. You know, the market is trying to make a bounce back here. Maybe AMD can resume what it was doing before. It's not really looking like it.
Not seeing anything yet, guys, with respect to the Trump comments, other than he plans to attend Davos next year to boost Switzerland. Nothing more than I have about that being reported by Bloomberg News. If I get any more, I'll let you know. AMD down 3.75%. No headline today on AMD, but we know they reported earnings not long ago, projecting $1 trillion of data center total addressable market by 2030. And they're also forecasting an 80% bump on their AI revenue CAGR, compounding annual growth rate over 3 to 5 years. The stock's up 18.7% in the last month without today's 3.75 drop, guys. So AMD trying to break back above 250.
All right.
49 first. That break 49.
So we're just at $1 now. We just shorted Tesla again right there. So we'll take some out here at 50s, and now we're getting a little bit lower. But yeah, for me, for AMD, man, it was just a smoke show early. Like it was just like boom, right there to the upside. We tried to support the 50 period. We tried to support VWAP and then the 200, and then eventually got blown out right there to the upside. So it was an early and quick hit. We didn't even really start it that early. Today, the trading, we waited about 4 or 5 minutes. But yeah, I thought it was downside there, and then I thought it was upside, and I thought it was downside, and just tipsy-turvy here for AMD and not well traded. So yeah, not a good look for me today. We had it yesterday off 450. I think this might be the stronger name to trade tomorrow. Like this looks pretty strong to me, actually, now that I look at this, right? I mean, it's nicely cooking here, considering what everything else is down. I would have thought that, you know, and I haven't looked at Nvidia or anything yet, but Nvidia is probably down more, which it is, about 1% more. But yeah, happy. I mean, I don't think you can be that upset with the way AMD is trading today, to be completely honest with you. I feel like this high flyer could be down a lot more, and the fact that it's not, I think, is a win. So yeah, that's my initial thought here on advanced micro devices. Just tough to trade early for me because it completely changed gears. So it was an L for me there on AMD today.
Yeah, you know what? AMD didn't break its low of day until 1:30 or so, which to its credit, like the market had been making lows for a long time before that. So it did hold up. When you consider what AMD's done and where it is, you would think that this one, like okay, so Tesla's going to be down that much, and like the AI's, this felt like it should have been like this 7% down. If this is some kind of a market top panic event. And the 250, look, it was just a 250 break. It's the only trade I've had, and I'm not even automatically thinking that, oh, well, 250 was good before, let's short 250 again. I don't really have that on my brain. If I short something on pops in the chip space, it's going to be the thing that I should have shorted this morning. It's going to be SMCI, because they are down 7% and they are in a world of hurt, and they are something that people aren't looking to dip by recently because they haven't been able to catch a bid. AMD, more buyers than I would have expected today, given the fact that we're down 2%. Not sure if we have another 2% day. I'm willing to say this. I seriously doubt AMD gets away with being down 3.5%, 4% if we have another one of these tomorrow. And then AMD is going to be closer to 10% if we get another day like this. For now, it's relatively strong. I'd rather short on the way back up something like an SMCI at this prior support, maybe 35.5, 35.6. And if that fails into VWAP, just shorting the weaker names on the way back up feels safer. Market trying to bounce here.
Yeah, I do like all of those. I mean, I think Apple is, if you're talking about, you know, something that could easily bounce tomorrow, Apple's still green, I know we've talked about, well, yeah, green. I know we've talked about this a little bit in the past, but there goes Apple still green right now. It looks like Tesla will trigger me out here on quite a nice run up here for TSLA. So we'll give a little bit back here as we march into 403. Like, good move, man. Good move back up. We can give it a little bit. Let me give it a little bit more than 403, but I think if we take 403, we're probably gone through. So 403 quarters we'll give it to right now. We're short at 402, basically. So hopefully we do get a little bit of a move down, but it's not necessarily... What happened? No, nothing. Okay, it's not necessarily looking like it wants to come back down. We'll put a bid at 402 just in case that does come in. And if you're, all kidding aside, but if you're looking at today's market, you may think you had a concussion, but over 3.8 million concussions are reported every single year in the United States, yet there is no federal approved treatment. NYC listed OGen or Genix is changing that with its first in-class intranasal drug. Okay, hold on a second. Get down right now, Tesla. Yeah, baby. Designed for rapid brain access, with the concussion treatment market projected to reach an amazing $9 billion. Wow, by 2027. Origenics is uniquely positioned, of course, to lead the way. So go give them some love. OGen over there on the NYSE, and scan that QR code to find out more information. Here we go, man. Good, yeah. Good trade here, man. As there goes Tesla. We just told you we're going to give it to 403. That seems okay, and we'll take some profit on the way back. We just started it right here. Boom, 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 to back. And remember, we're putting on the more shares up here than there, because we don't want to have what happened to us on AMD, where it just rips up, and then we're forced to stop out because we have too many shares. We're going to try to alter that thinking a little bit here as we move forward. But yeah, man, there it goes. Good trading so far anyways here on the reload short of Tesla, but who knows where this is going to go. I'm going to put another bid in the 30s, and it's not like this is a huge trade. We're only in the money 50 cents now, but let's just keep on taking a little bit out. Look, if it breaks 403, you know where my stop is. So just because we got some out there, it'll just make this trade flat. Like now, if we break that area, we'd basically be flat on all of these reloads. So let's give it a shot. Let's see if it wants to breathe to the downside. And then if it takes us out upside, then that's it, man. We're out, and we can definitely deal with that. So far, so good here on the Tesla reload short. But for now, we're reloaded. But I feel like this clip will be emptied very, very soon. Like, it's not...
The irony, though, he didn't have any...
There goes
that
Tesla.
scene, he didn't have anything in his clip.
I know, that was the thing.
It's the greatest
We got to
thing
rewatch. That's on Donnie Brasco, of course.
No. Carlito's Way.
Carlito's Way. Yeah. That movie. Not. People think it's Scarface, actually, but
they do. And the crazy thing about it, trust me when I tell you, there's Godfather 1, Godfather 2, Scarface, and Carlito's Way, and Goodfellas. Those are the 5 best gangster movies ever made.
Yeah,
I'm sure I'm forgetting something. Don't at me, but trust me,
Casino's not bad, but it's a little long. It's a little heavy. That's all.
Oh, I'll never forget watching Casino. And it's, my mom walked in on me and was like, she doesn't really like cursing. My mom.
Oh wow, then yeah,
she really doesn't like cursing.
Might not like.
And it was a problem. But
who's the small guy?
Joe Pesci.
Joe Pesci.
She strongly dislikes it. She's like, oh, whatever. Warriors, I don't consider a gangster movie. That's not okay. Warriors, a gang movie. It's not a gangster movie. It's very different.
Good call.
Yeah, no, but that's a good one. But Joe was just saying, what about the Warriors? I love the Warriors. It's not a gangster movie. Can you dig it? Well, hopefully we can dig. It's not a reload, but it should be a reload. This is not a reload. It should not be the first time I'm shorting SMCI today for obvious reasons. Like SMCI, if it does this tomorrow again, and what I mean by that is drop at the open, retest VWAP, and then tank. Drop at the open, retest VWAP, tank. Drop at the open, retest VWAP, tank. It's absolutely insane. Like this one has been, and then you can, outside of one day, you've been able to just short. At least this is the week. There's only one day that you haven't been able to hold that short, never really going against you, that initial VWAP trade outside of here. And if you just reshorted it at that price, you would have won again. So I'm getting in for the first time. We'll see how it plays out. OpenDoor is, OpenDoor is above VWAP. We just trash talking you, Open, 0 for 1 in that, but it's consolidating above VWAP. So maybe it is back to in play this afternoon. Let's see, this candle looks like it's gonna hold a little bit of strength. I don't like that it failed 9, but it might still be worth a shot if we can close this one above the volume weighted average price here. So into for the first time. Obviously, as I just said, and looking for a chance for OpenDoor to close this, holding the volume-weighted average price. But you got to really like the long before jumping in here. You don't want to be in the long willy-nilly. Trump ends executive order signing without taking press questions. What?
Well, wait, what?
No questions.
Well, he's a little nervous
want
about some files maybe there.
Yeah, he doesn't want, because
he doesn't want to discuss any files, I think. Yeah, we'll wait. I mean,
you know who's chilling while this is happening?
No.
Bill.
Oh, Bill? Well, Bill might get Bill might get found out very soon too. So we'll get that figured out. But poor Bill. Yeah. All right. So Tesla just failed at that top break and then came back in. So we'll just try it one more time. We'll give this one 30 cents to the upside, and then if it breaks again, then we're gone. I just want to see where this pressure is on Tesla now, because it just busted through 403, and that's where we got stopped out. But it's quite a nice move up, man. It's up like almost $7 or $8 from that low right now, but the futures are also trying to go, and we are not going to fight the trend again. So one more shot here on Tesla just to see what it winds up doing, and there it goes. Looks like it does want to break through 403.50 again. So we'll stop out on that kind of a breakout now for Tesla, and then just say, you know what, let's look, maybe potentially look long, or just slow down, stop, drop, and then eventually open up shop. Okay, so that's what we're going to do right here with TSLA. So if it doesn't drop, then we're going to figure this out and look elsewhere. Okay, but that's what we're trying to do right now. How low is Palantir? Like, I don't even want to look. I don't think 173. Okay, so it bounces off 171. We've been down here before on Tesla, right, or on Palantir, and that was literally last week, and where we were bouncing in right there a couple days ago, and then we've been down to these levels. And yeah, I don't know. We had that story about Burry, closing up shop there. And I don't know if that...
Unfortunately, $ Scion doesn't work.
Oh, no? I was just going to say... Oh, it did? Because, yeah, now Palantir's dropping, and now Nvidia's dropping. So I don't know if Michael Burry is still in these shares or not, but there goes Palantir to the downside. And that's 6%. I think it's 4% here on Nvidia. So, yeah, it looks like a pretty nasty day overall for many of these names. Oh, damn. We just had a nice move down. We were just went into 402.80s there for Tesla. There we go. We got a bid out now. Okay, so here we go. Remember where our stop was, right? So that's the other thing. We want to make sure that we do take a little bit of profit when we see profit, because our stop is not that far away from here. And just dropped in a little bit, so we did take something out there, but not enough. So we're short at 403. We just got some 80s there. Who knows? But it looks like right now Tesla does not want to get down. We just had an opportunity to break 403 there, which we did, and we just bought right back up. So looks like the futures want to continue to go higher. Let's just piece this out and not wait for that like $10 trade or anything. If it happens, it happens. But right now there's too much momentum. There we go. See, that's 66s we got actually. Down there. So that was good, but that was only for 10%. Every single one of these outs is going to be about 10%. So we're waiting in the 80s again, just to relieve a little bit of pressure. There it is. So we get that as that comes back in there. And now we'll wait. Okay, here we go. Now we see if we can get something downside now. Okay, we'll take a 70, sorry. And we're waiting at 40s. And there we go. We get 40s as well. So here it goes, man. A little face slap right there. Take out another piece. And now we will just have about 60% left or so. On this trade. Let's see how far we can get lower or down here on Tesla.
Yeah, if we look at the structure of what the market's doing, I mean, there's no two steps. It's one step up, and that's pretty much it. You can break, but you're not breaking here. You can break, but you're not breaking there. Like it's essentially still mostly stair step down. So that's the Nasdaq for you, and that's to me like until something gets proven otherwise. I think. Again, shorting the pops and the weak names is going to work. That's why I went over to this one. OpenDoor is going to close. Okay, so OpenDoor actually is going to close above VWAP. That'll be the next thing. We're going to stick with the shorts, just short the pops as far as I'm concerned. And even Apple, starting to think Apple was going to break VWAP. No, exactly, complete rejection. Apple, for like the 13th time today, has gone green to red. And I counted it. It's actually close to 13 times it's gone green to red. It's trying really hard, but it's just not working out for Apple. Even iBit, which I had just popped out of, went right back into that 99.5 or even close to it and starting to roll over. So I'm thinking I want to reshort that on the next available pop as well. So far so good in SMCI, but I want another name that I can also look at that I think can take out these lows. One more note on Bitcoin. Here, what the hell? Ooh, give me these ads. I want my BTC Bitcoin. There's a 15-minute I want to show you guys very quickly for Bitcoin. There is a 15-minute chart. This is the thing. Like, this is wild on Bitcoin. I don't know that I can't remember the last time I saw like that kind of a steady decline. And then you get what is like, it looks like a God mode reversal trade, right? Like that looks like the perfect reversion trade here.
Yeah.
Look at all the red. And it's like, oh, look at that go. And then it immediately rejects your breakout candle to come right back into the lows. Like, that's when you know there's not, like, the buyers don't love it. Like, that is as good as it's gonna get for a mean reversion trade, and the initial reaction once it starts working is to completely reject the first up move, once the buyers felt they were in a little bit of control. And so that's another reason why I was like, okay, well, maybe this is not a long, even though that's like a textbook reversal, which I tried one earlier and didn't work out. So I'm shorting the next pop on Bitcoin. There's multiple reasons why. You have the cover of 100, you have the market trending down, you have what I just showed you with that chart. Jaspreet, 70 to 75. Not today, but I personally think that's possible. Like, it's weird. Like, if some people, like, why not? I don't want it to go down. Look, I don't want Bitcoin to go down here, but, like, why wouldn't it? Like, what about this chart suggests to you that Bitcoin can't pull back to 75? And if it pulls back past here into 50, that I would consider to be more extreme. But pulling back to bounce off 75 kind of maintains the structure here a little bit. So I'm not beyond thinking that's going to happen. Like, if I'm a dollar cost averager buyer in the dips of Bitcoin, then I want powder for the low 90s and I want powder for down around 75. Like, I wouldn't want to blow the load here at like 91 or 92, or I should have said the WAD. You know,
but I think the real question is you're not selling any current holdings.
No, like, I've chosen to sell other things. Like, I've gotten completely out of Coinbase at this point. Like, it's just, for me, like, once I get to that point, I'm not completely out of ETH. Before I sell any Bitcoin, I'll need to I need to be out of all my ETH. I've sold like 80% of my ETH. Not all of it at a good price. I'll be the first to admit that. Some of I sold way too low. But until the point where, like, Bitcoin is the last thing I'm holding, I'm not selling any Bitcoin. I'll sell other stuff. So I still have some ETH that I want to get rid of, but about 20% of what I had. Because at one point I was 60-40 a few years ago. And I've worked that down to, like, probably closer to like 10 to 12% ETH. So when I trim that, then I can be someone that sells Bitcoin. Otherwise, I've never really sold it. But, you know, at some point you get to that point where you want to.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, part of it is looking at the stock, and then the other thing is, like, analyzing, okay, what do I do with my current position?
Exactly.
And, you know, you don't always want to just necessarily layer out of everything that you have, because there still is some upside.
Yeah, don't Google some of the stuff we say.
Obviously. Here.
Figure of speech.
Okay, so that's kind of some of the stuff that we're working on right now. All right, and I'm still working on, I mean, it's the only trade, you have SMCI short, and it's the only trade that I have on right now, and of course, it is going to be Tesla, and I've just been, shout out to Dane Generous and everybody in the chat that has this with me. I've just been piecing it out. I only have 40% left right now. And I'm just sort of, like I was saying before, just trying to, like, cap off a little bit here on what we've been doing today. And it's been good. So, you know, no problems with sort of this trade here so far today, but it is starting to, you know, I don't know. It's not moving down. I mean, it's not moving as down as aggressively as it had been. The futures are right now, or look like they're trying to hold. So I don't even know. I say, what's up with that? Right now,
not holding that good.
Well, no, but they're bouncing off the 50 period. I mean, they're not going lower where I'd like them to go. Let me just put it that way for right now. So let's just wait to see. Maybe we can get a little lucky here and catch something on Tesla. But for right now, it doesn't look like the futures want to get back to those lows. I mean, they're definitely, you know, to what we were just saying there, they're not holding out the greatest here today, these futures, but they're also not horrible in my opinion anyways. Right now, it could get a lot worse. Like, we've seen down 2% days. So let's just hope that we can either hold this or, for Tesla's sake, get a little bit lower. But yeah, who thought Tesla was going to be at 402 today? Not I. That's for sure. So that to me, this one kind of came out of left field, I think, for most here today with Tesla. Okay, the other name, Apple, was still positive. Boeing is hitting some scanners right now, but
Boeing's having a good day.
It's been hot. Yeah, I was going to say it's flat-ish, but this would be the one there. Yeah, so I guess I missed it. It hit a minute ago, but that was the high of the day right there. So, yeah, Boeing. I actually heard, Adara's over there. I was going to say, yeah, I heard some stories on Boeing.
Yeah, so the defense union, the strike's done. They approved it, all good. That happened right at the end of the midday, and I brought that to you guys right before the switch.
Yeah, okay, I did. Thanks, Adara. I did. Thank you.
Hit
One second.
Thank you very much, Adara.
That's the only new button we've gotten, you know, the thank you very much.
No, well, you know what? There is another new button that we've gotten. You just probably don't care about it. It's this.
I probably do care. I care about that. Yeah. At least it's not that long.
They got Idris Elba in the new He-Man movie.
I mean, how was that super loud for you guys?
Dude was supposed to be the next James Bond.
And now
he's man-at-arms.
That's right.
He-Man. I love, Idris Elba is unbelievable.
Yeah, man-at-arms.
But
probably deserves.
That's not even a lateral move.
I was gonna say he deserves a little bit of a bigger.
I'm sure the movie's gonna do well.
Maybe a little bit of a bigger role there
for
for my guy over there.
Really?
Was that really loud or no? I don't know.
That was crazy loud.
It's loud in here. I just don't know if it's loud out there.
Oh, that was too loud. I think it was too loud.
Let us know. Let it snow. Let it snow. Okay.
You seen that stock in a while?
Disney?
No.
Oh, Snow. I sold Snowflake. I think it was either at 200 or 220. There were some big levels there. I can't. What's it doing today? Down 5, but it still has been on a huge run.
Way too early on.
It's been on a huge run.
Way too early on.
Yeah. If you sold it at all, you sold it too early.
Yeah. It's right off those highs. But this is another stock that I feel like this stock. Like, okay, you think 4.5% is bad?
Tesla.
Yeah, well, it can get a heck of a lot worse on this. Like, if this was at 200, I would not be surprised in a month or two.
Oh, some nice little Accione there. What's up, Dane Generous and everybody that took this with me? There goes Tesla right now. Now Deuce is in the money, $2 as we get a nice little short call right there. Remember where our stop was, 403.50. We're short at 403 quarters. So 25 cents to make 250 cents, 10 to 1 we'll take it. But again, I only have 30% left, exactly 30% left. So pretty good there. Let's piece out another 5% now, have 25%. There it is, we got that. And it just looks crazy on the chart because of this, but there it is, man. We did get some stopped out there. And then once we realized that 403, we wicked that high, then we made another wick high, then we punched to the short and used that as our out. And there it is, right back into the 200 period. So that's why we're gonna have to cover something here as we get into the 200 period. But this is also a decent spot of where the tank could be in. So watch out for Frank the Tank running down your streets these days. And if he is running down, wasn't he going to KFC or something, Frank the Tank?
No, he was going streaking through the quad.
I know, but wasn't he going somewhere to get food or something like that?
I haven't seen.
I don't know, but anyways, he was definitely going to streaking.
I've seen that movie.
That is for sure. Shout out to like finally old school, like some good movies, man. Like we need a good comedy at some point.
You know the real problem?
There probably was a good recent one.
You can't make those comedies.
I like Ricky Stenicki. If you see
that, was fun.
That was
but it's not old school. It's not.
And my guy John Cena.
They don't let you make.
I would request the John Cena music, but there's no way that will happen. You know. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, how dare we ask for some music? I mean, we only have one kind of music. Hit it.
Yeah, you got that button.
Yeah, I don't have that button.
All I want is the Soul Glow. Okay, coming to America, Soul Glow.
Oh, now $3.
That's all I want. I don't care.
Tesla is absolutely in free fall mode right now. So there it goes, man. Yeah, nicely cooking right now. Nice downside play for Tesla there. Hey, Neil, it's not a 1, it's not a 2, it's a $3 winner right there. Put that money in your bank right here. Thank you, Tesla. All right, let's go, Neil.
And you can probably find some leveraged ETFs on Tesla as well. But if you're in Canada, then you can take advantage of Beta Pro by Globex, Canada's largest provider of leverage, inverse, and inverse leverage ETFs. And they've launched 6 new triple leverage ETFs offering 3 times bull and 3 times bear exposure to S&P's TSX 60, semis, and US Treasuries. And they're also offering a special fee rebate. They've dropped management fees to just 65 basis points until December 31st of this year. And the US-focused strategies use currency hedging. That offers you the potential for more pure performance and exposure. So if you're a tactical, sophisticated trader out to amplify your performance, check out betapro.ca 3x daily to learn more. Shout out to them and thank them for sponsoring this segment of the show. And what will be the only long I think I even remotely like, said if we dip back into VWAP, I'd take a shot at OpenDoor because it's a small capper. I don't want anything that has to feel compelled to follow the market. But if we lose VWAP, I'm going to be out of this one. It's not even power hour yet, so there's plenty of time to go.
Oh my God, that's right.
Yeah, it's like 250. I feel like the rundown went pretty fast as well.
Yeah, what's up with that?
But, you know what, though? Like, the thing about the rundown is
we're having so much fun in this amazing market.
But when every single stock just looks exactly the same, What am I going to say? No, seriously, it's like there's not much difference.
We talked about shorting the pops. You got SMCI. We shorted the Tesla pop here, and we have now 20%. We actually just got filled at 400. We got filled at $400.22, holding now 20. For some reason, I got part filled. I have 21% left right now on this trade. So far, so good. To the downside here, but wow, that's a good pop off of 4 bills right there. Okay. And again, this is why, like, get some out there, get some out as we thought that we thought it wasn't going right into there, which was a mistake, getting a whole bunch out at 402. That was a mistake, but it doesn't matter, still $1. And then getting some more out here at the 200 period, and then getting some more out at the 50 period. I mean, that's exactly what we want to do. We can't have VWAP to bounce off of. We can only have the even dollar. So we just bounced off of 400 there. So I'm going to hold the rest. My stop is now in. I don't have any more bids on this. Let's see how low we can go. I mean, sometimes we get out of things way too early. Case in point here, but this was a really big trade. The problem is we had lost early and then back in. So our net on our trade yesterday with AMD is going to be bigger, but this is just as big a one right there today for me on the top end of it. Okay, maybe Tesla does want to break through 4 bills. All right, you know, as Tesla goes potentially, and again, this is the whole thing. Like, we have Randy here, and it's you know, all aboard, like when we're winning, it's like, yeah, I told you about Rivian, right? But who told you to get out up here at 18? Like, that has to be on our own, right? I mean, that's something that when we look at charts and we celebrate the movements of some of these stocks, look at Oscar, for example. Oscar went all the way to 23, 24, 25, is now back down to 14, right? So will that be the same fate? I hope not for Rivian. I have a small position, just $1,000 worth that's left over. But yeah, like, we've already seen these highs. So, like, I'm only to be mad at myself. Like, if we don't get back up, like that 17, that's an out there, let alone everything up here, let alone this spot here as well. So I think right now, if you are a little conservative on your positioning and or nervous hands about whatever Rivian position you have, this is still not a horrible spot. Because if tomorrow is what today is, you're going to be down here at 15, and they're going to be wondering why we didn't do anything at 1650. So I would just say, like, that is a gap that's going to get filled at some point, and I just hope it's not tomorrow. So I would say watch out there for Rivian. Definitely would feel like you haven't gotten a great price because you haven't, but this is still a good price. I mean, Rivian was just $12, $13 pre-earnings, right? And then bang, right there to the upside, breaks that $14 shelf.
And what were those earnings? They went up not because of the earnings, they went up because of the pay package to what's his face.
Yeah, and then what's his name? Randy was here saying about how it was a software company. I meant to ask him about that.
Open goes down, by the way. This is the only stock I remotely liked for a long. Like, seriously? It just can't hold VWAP. And it's sad because this is like, it's one of the only things that really, I think, had a chance to break out. Okay, we're going to go to Adara and we'll come right back because this market is still doing the same thing, which is going lower and lower.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I'll be pretty quick. I just want to remind you, lots of exciting post-market earnings reports that you can find with Sean and myself on the Market Recap Show. Here's a look at their implied moves. Smallest by far is going to be AMAT, but all the other implied moves either in the high single digits or low double digits. So again, Sean and myself giving you all these earnings of the Market Recap Show. Don't be late and don't miss it. 4 p.m. Eastern. Back to you.
This reverse.
Don't be late.
Did it reverse split?
Yeah, you were talking about space.
Oh, it did reverse split. I knew it must have reverse split. Like, this stock isn't $3. No, it's what did they do? They must have done 60 cents to 111.60.
What?
1 to 20, maybe.
Oh, okay.
And then it just tanked right away. Yeah, so they must have done like a 1 to 20,
boy,
something like that. Yeah, like the second, it's weird. Like, the second you get out of a long, that means the shorts start printing again. And heading right back into the downside. So I guess we're headed to the low of the day. One more time, everything is heading lower. Meta is going to maybe retest that 600. Apple's getting pretty close to that low of the day. Hold on to it, everybody. And Rivian Millionaire says AMAT hasn't beat earnings in last 4 quarters at least. Well, that's probably not good.
Probably ain't wrong on that one, by the way.
That would not be good. But you know what? Cisco lost, missed earnings. I think they had declining revenue for like 4 quarters in a row, and then they just wrapped up 4 quarters of positive growth. So turnaround stories can happen. I randomly read that this morning, and I'm not saying AMAT's going to turn it around. I'm just pointing out that other companies have had that happen too.
Sounds like you're saying AMAT's going to turn it around.
No, I prefer both LAM and ASML to AMAT by a long shot.
Yeah. Yeah, we never really talk about AMAT too much. All right, now it's $4. So let's just go this. You know, I saw Sharif had about 13 fruits behind his desk over here today. So he's maybe having a fruit salad, but this one right there, go to the downside, man. I mean, we've got it for you. Here it is. For me, it's a big one. Yes, let's go, traders. Bang, right there. Good one, guys. 450 now in the money that we took it right with you all. So that's going to be definitely a trade here that we could talk about. Good movement on Tesla. Right back in. We just took some more out right there. It just did, you know, gap down a little bit. How low can we go, man? It's now 450 in the money. Hey, man, we're doing it every day live for you. So hit the like, hit the subscribe, get that thing going, man. I mean, what else are we supposed to do? Like, we shorted this on the way up. We held this against ourselves, and there it goes, right to the downside. Shout out to Dane Generous and anybody else in the chat that has this short on. I mean, this is a big one, man. This is $4. We really, I'll take out a small nether piece right here. So now I have 15% left. Wow, to have held all of this, oh boy. But there it goes, man. Nice move to the downside. We've got this one right here. Boom, $5 right now as Tesla getting taken out right now, back to the downside. We even said it, man, as soon as we came on air, man, fade the pops. And we stuck with our stock right there on Tesla, and there it goes, man. We've made more on Tesla now than even this TQ trade that we had today. So there it goes, man. I hope some of you are on this with us, but there it goes, man. Nice trading there for our good friend today anyways on the short side. Although I still hold long in the own personal account.
That's the thing.
It's going to the downside right now, goes Tesla.
And Dijon Mustard says, what pops? You have to take the pops that these stocks give you. You're not going to get VWAP on a day like today. Unless you're looking at Apple, nothing's going all the way to the volume-weighted average price. Like, what would Tesla probably has to go like 3% to go to the volume-weighted average price, at least. Like, this stock has to go 3% to go to the volume-weighted average price. So all you can do is whatever, like, you know, like it puts in 3 green candles in a row, short the first red one. You could probably, I'm willing to bet you I could pull up Intel, see? 3 green, well, it's 4 green candles. The first red one, short. Now it's at the low of the day. I could probably look at AMD right now, and I haven't looked at it. I don't know. 1, 2, 3 green candles in a row. Maybe not as clean. It tried to rinse you at a 250, but you could short that one, and then you get back into the low. So again, just sort of pick your poison at this point. Like what we were saying a second ago, like all these charts look the same. That's because the market's doing more or less the same thing. What stands out might be Apple. It's a little bit stronger, but it's not enough to make me like the long for sure. Sebastian's saying why the dump, and a couple people saying why when the market reopened, when the government reopened, are we heading down? Buy the rumor, sell the news. The market, this is Apple, but whatever, you know, close enough to the market. We did not go up or down, during the shutdown. This is the Qs. Like, what did we do during the shutdown? Like, for most of this, we were still in an upward trend. And, you know, and sometimes what will happen is you get the good news that you want, and it turns into a bit of a sell the news event. We've seen it with an Apple event. We've seen it with a million things. And I think that's what you're getting today. But you have on top of that the fact that you've got all of these AI names that are really frothy, and then that kind of creates a cascade effect. Like, people start thinking about valuations on days like today when they haven't been thinking about them on the way up. Sometimes it leads to panic. I'm not personally running out to buy anything yet. At these levels, I think you gotta wait this one out a little bit here. Especially
I consider buying Tesla here. I would consider it more than Meta.
I'm trying to think of
because those are the 2 biggest mega cap names.
Well, for me, Meta is at least at a valuation I like. I think Alphabet is also at a valuation that makes some sense to me. At these prices, obviously the chart's not going to look like, well, why would you buy there? Like, maybe wait for the 50 period, because I think the valuation's pretty good, so I would buy this at the 50 period because I just think it's not overpriced the way that some of the other Mag 7 are. It's the chips that I'm worried about. Like, I sold AMD twice, and neither one of them looked all that good recently. Yeah, sorry, that's what I was going to say, is Tesla is not my first. It's Google is my first one, but I don't think it's at the right level quite yet to step in, so. We'll just continue to watch out for stock here. And also crypto. Like, what happens if What happens if we don't hold 100K?
Oh, wow.
This week, right? Like, okay, we're
not going to get back
today.
above it, I don't think. What is it,
but
98?
If we're a couple of days under 100,000, then you start to see another cascade down. And then if those liquidations happen, what does that mean to risk on in some of the other places? Like, what are we looking at for the VIX right now?
Robinhood down. Oh, geez. I mean, I said that Robinhood has double digits attached to it. That was when that was at 150. Oh, yeah, by the way, this is not just to dunk on people or anything like that, because I still own this stock. But I remember when this thing was at 450, and Adair and I were doing the recap show, and I was like, and this has nothing to do with the compensation, but it was during that vote on the shareholder compensation, on the board meeting, shareholder meeting, and I thought that was a sell, the news situation, right? And the thing is that obviously with the Nasdaq making this move down, there's nothing to do. The whole Nasdaq is like nothing to do with Tesla, but you know that. It was sort of priced for that to happen, because the minute we saw in Kalshi that this was 95% chance of yes, and I just noticed that the market wasn't really moving on that, only can be bad. Like now that the government's back, everyone thinks the market's going to rally, but that's, you know, as Neil said, we're selling that news. And I thought that was a sell. I did not think we were going this far down, but there was a sell the news situation there on Tesla where we all could have been out 10% ago. But we'll just continue to watch it. It's only down that 10% from 440, 450 into 401 right now. Not really worth crying anything yet. But the more that I think about that, you and I talk about like what we would buy, why the hell am I buying more Mag 7 names? I'm already jacked into Mag 7. Like, if anything, what about getting something on the cheap? Like we talk about Caterpillar.
AbbVie though.
Oh, AbbVie, yeah, I have AbbVie. I'm saying like buying now. I'm not, like my portfolio is already pretty diversified to some of those names. They're just not heavily weighted. I have the right names, but we always talk about Caterpillar. Maybe another name is John Deere. I mean, farmers, should benefit with this, reopening again here. And every time a farmer gets a check, and I mean, Trump was talking about giving out checks again, we put it back into the equipment and whatnot, right? So we'll see if John Deere maybe has some sort of a runway here back to the upside. I mean, we really like Caterpillar, but that name just exploded off earnings, unless it's back in, which would like it even more if that was the case. But I didn't bring up Caterpillar on purpose because it's had this sort of epic rise up there, but it is coming back in. So see, like from 600 for Caterpillar back to 550, that's almost, like you can give yourself 10% pat on the back right there as well. So maybe there is something here. Maybe Caterpillar is the one I look for, down by $5 bills. Like the stock, love the space, love to get diversified, does have an AI aspect to it. Maybe Caterpillar is something that we look for if we miss.
My only risk with Caterpillar, I say this, like I've said this before, so this is not me throwing shade because it's like my second largest non-tech holding, is that so much of their growth is like they get to build the data centers. That being said, as long as the CapEx spending goes, it's the Metas and the Microsofts and the Alphabets. They're the ones that have to worry about getting a return on their investment. As long as they keep cutting the checks and they got plenty of cash, then Caterpillar gets paid. So I think it gets good. They're insulated for longer, but not forever. Like it feels like they could get hit, but they may not get hit as bad. At least not at first.
I could see that.
Which makes some sense to me because. And then the very good point, someone in the chat was like, why not short the pops and the miners? Because if you think like, if you're shorting the weakest thing, that's a really good point.
Bitcoin miners?
No, yeah, because I was shorting Bitcoin earlier. Well, Mars down like 10%. Of course it's going to move more to the downside. Yeah, whoever made that point, I was just chatting
I want someone to put in the chat, like, or message us, like, what is the reason to be long the miners?
I have no idea.
That's the other thing, because I know they're all some of them are turning into like treasuries where they hold enough Bitcoin that they're just kind of like the hash rate is just so extended right now that it's hard to produce the Bitcoins with the much energy that is required. It's not as cost efficient here. But we say this, man, if you're into Bitcoin or if you're trading this market, your heart probably beats more than 100,000 times today, but every beat is a data point. And right here, AIML on the CSE, AIML, and also located AIMLF on the OTC markets, turns that data into potentially life-saving insights with max yield. And again, here's using AI. Their AI engine filters noise labels and labels each heartbeat with lab-grade precision and shrinks ECG analysis from days to minutes. I mean, that's life-saving right there. Their mission to revolutionize how heart disease is detected, monitored, and prevented. Awesome stuff here. Learn more at AIML.health and follow them on X. So, I mean, just scan that QR code. All their information is right there. I think that's pretty awesome, man. I mean, you never, that's the one thing, like heart health, you got to stay with it. So shout out to AIML and all that they're doing over there. So again, that's another spot. We just talked about Caterpillar using AI maybe potentially a little bit differently there. AIML, similar play, but not similar play to Caterpillar, but looking to diversify into AI, you know, get into the medical science aspect of it. We did see XBI. We just talked about AbbVie and some of these other names going absolutely to the upside, led by, of course, the greatest wonder drug of all time, other than penicillin. I'm
pretty sure penicillin.
Penicillin is.
It's a little.
yeah. And if you're pregnant, please don't use Tylenol.
It's like way up there.
Yeah, so forget about that. Penicillin wins. But, you know, GLP-1s is what I was getting at there. And XBI has been just a huge beneficiary of the pull-up here in sort of AI, better efficiency from some of these names. Their reports are amazing. Check out Amgen. We just saw AbbVie going to the upside as well, and then all led by Eli Lilly. So again, for diversification, you want to be in many different names, but I don't think there's anything wrong at all with being in Eli Lilly at any time, as that's over $1,000 right now. Look at this move. Like, you want to trim out some froth? What about some Eli Lilly here, when, as we can clearly see where we are with this name, just really rocketing to the upside. Eli Lilly, love the stock, but seems to be a little frothy at these levels.
It's hard to argue that.
I mean, I don't want to trim it, but if you're trying to raise cash. So the reason...
You know what looks good right now?
Yeah. Well,
Berkshire.
Yeah, I like Berkshire.
Berkshire's
They're sitting on the cash.
Breaking back out, too. Breaking back out. You're not going to find many charts breaking out today where they're like, and a lot of the ones like that Eli Lilly that we were just talking about, like it's over 1,000. It's breaking the highs. Like, yeah, would you really want to buy up there? I don't know. I don't want to buy anything that's at the highs right now. But Berkshire is breaking out. Like, this could be a place to go into. You have room to rally. I think the downtrend really good. If you haven't had a chance to read a couple, actually, it was Daniel Westermeyer, Mr. Westermeyer. Sent me, I hadn't read the letter, his last letter from
oh yeah, it's long. Yeah, I saw that. I was reading it.
No, but it's a good read.
Yeah.
He's got some good life insight. And ultimately, you know, I think we've bottomed after both the news that, okay, he's stepping away, and then like the final, this will be like the last time on the report. I think you've made that bottom and you're starting to break it. Actually breaking out today. So I kind of like this one. Over the 50, over the 200. You know, I kind of like both of those right there. I don't know what you're up to, Ari Pages.
Hard not to like it, really. I like Berkshire with all that cash. Well, what is Ari Pages doing? What's up, Jay Lee and everybody that's normally in our chat? We want to say thank you to everybody.
It's a random comment, Ari Pages. I'll put you on blast. I have the message center. I can do that.
Put him on blast, then. I want to see
Where's
what he's
the
saying.
question?
All right, so we got out. Okay, you just go find it. I just got out more right here at $400.40. It's still $3 in the money. I'm just taking out another piece. Now I now have 15%. I think I had 17 last time, but now we just took out a little bit because I got that part fill. So I just exiting that part fill right here and hoping for better returns moving forward. But this has been a really good stock, my #1 stock today, right here, right now. We were looking at Fannie Mae earlier.
Try, but I can't find it, so I'm just gonna do you like this, Ari.
Okay, he's on. You want to go to Neil's page there? I don't know what this is about.
How did first of all, I'm not scrolling to find out. How did the conversation get to hard drugs? You better believe I don't. Drugs are bad people. Where does our chat is amazing. But
what was he saying? I didn't even see that.
He just goes, Neil doesn't do hard drugs, brothers, to Matt M. Welcome, Matt M. I don't think I've seen you before. Absolutely do not. There is truth to that. It's a true statement. I just want to know how the conversation gets to these things. So random around here, man. Rando.
I mean, hard drugs. Like, who's doing cocaine or like heroin or anything around here? Like, I don't know what you guys are up to, but like, and those things don't even really cross your boy's mind over here. But okay, to each their own. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but however, there is something wrong with it. All right, so
Traders only did that in the 80s, people.
Yeah, like we were at this, where we were sponsoring. You weren't there, but we sponsored an event, and they had a stand-up comedian And, you know, it was the same, literally the exact same joke she used 2 years in a row. And it was just kind of like, oh, no one's paying attention to me up here. Everyone must be in the back doing lines of below, ha, 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 finance business. And all. I was just like,
Okay,
like,
I was at the one last year. That's literally the same joke that they did.
Yeah, exactly. I was just like, huh?
You can't.
Like, what do you even know?
A stand-up comedian is
over
going
there?
to have some of the same material.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
But you can't do the same bit at the same event like a year later.
We talked about, what's the one, those favorite movie, Wolf of Wall Street. Like, you know, I mean, there's some glorification. I'm sure that was true, though. Jordan Belfort was a nightmare.
I still think Rogue Trader. And we had that little discussion.
Yeah, Rogue Trader's great. Liam Neeson there. Good one. Okay, so as we go, I want to talk about Fannie Mae quickly, talk about OTC markets and Wolf of Wall Street here. A little bit of a different situation here than Wolf of Wall Street, but same market as we talk about the pink sheets. Fannie Mae right now down nicely today. They've had quite the nice run, though. I don't want to put a fork in Fannie Mae here or anything like that. It's been a nice run, and we do have some traders here that are into that, into this name. But yeah, Fannie Mae's been beat up just a little bit here today, down 9%, and it was down 20%. It did tick that low. That is for real. This trade, but comes. I mean. The reason why I want to bring this up one more time to everybody is when you sit here and you actually look at what's been happening to some of these names, you do have an opportunity to say, like, that's a great bouncing spot. This goes all the way back to July. Like, it stopped there, 750. So, like, this was, again, a great level to pick some up. I brought this to you at around 11 o'clock, like right there. I was trying. There's me punching the short. Like, purple is short. Then we went long. So we're up on Fannie Mae today, but we just went long briefly there. But yeah, so there's a key level. I went short right there, thinking if it continues to break, we do have some nice downside potential there for Fannie Mae, but down now 9% today. And I don't know, Adara was looking for some news. We didn't find any. I mean, if you know anything different, Adara, you can pipe in. But right now, Fannie Mae just was downside. And again, Trump was talking about 50-year mortgages and things like that. So I guess I don't know if that leads to more defaults, less profit for, these Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, what the function of them in today's government. I actually have to look up before I talk about them, what exactly Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac are doing right now, because during the housing crisis there, they were holding all the goods and they had to, they were less than $1, basically bankrupt and battling back right now. And before Trump took office, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac were still sub $1. So this move is right there. This is President Trump. This is November 6th, right here. And then we just mooned from there. Ozan, you say when moon. I say already mooned there. And now we make our way back in. Let's see if 750 holds. We can check that out tomorrow. Good thing we just have 15% left as Tesla's coming all the way back up. And my stop still hasn't changed, so I'm doing 403.50s. So if that rips up to 403.50, good on you. We're out, and we'll move on. So that's what we're doing now. 9,000 PE. That's what I'm saying, Rivian Millionaire. Fannie Mae doesn't really have any earnings or anything. So that's why I'm saying, like, I have to find out the reason other than trying to play Trump sentiment, like, that he can get something done here and bring some more money to the government by recapitalizing Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. So I don't really know where their revenues come from right now. They don't report or anything like that. So,
well, the good news is you don't need to know fundamentals to trade something. You can take short-term swings and stuff.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, that 750 might be good. 50-year loan on a cheeseburger.
That's the thing. Only they don't allow us. I'm just in a beef about the Canadian government. Canada? We are not allowed to, in our TFSA, which are tax-free savings account, you can't hold anything that's in the OTC, which.
And we have to re-up our mortgages at most every 5 years is the most you can do it. So you can't have like these great subprime, rates, because now they've expired, right?
People sitting in like 2 point whatever for forever.
Right. And then in 2020, they got all these low rates, of course, and then they started getting jacked up as we recovered from COVID. And now people that are sitting in $1 million homes that were maybe had, $1,500 mortgages or whatever, just simply by maybe misunderstanding what they got themselves into or whatever, now we're paying sometimes double. Everybody has stories.
Yeah, there was a couple in our neighborhood.
That's why I just pay for real estate straight cash.
Straight cash, homie?
Yeah. Oh, bye. But yeah, so that's what it is, man. We just, that's what it is. That's the housing environment here in Canada is we have to abide by those
so different
mortgage rules.
Well, the market might be headed back to the lows again, but I just saw someone in the chat.
Not. What the hell?
Well, the market is. I'm just looking at the Nasdaq and the ES. Like the ES just broke here. I always show you guys the Nasdaq. How about this? The ES just broke the low and then tried to regain it, and then see how once it got back to the low, it's starting to run out of steam again. So, like, we're just this slow grind to the downside. I don't want to reload. This one's not moving enough. It's only moving half a point, so that's not what I wanted to reload. I'd like the suggestion of Mara on pops, but then Mara didn't pop again. It's breaking the low of the day one more time. And that was in lieu of IBIT, but I went over to Mara. Yeah, pretty much everything is just heading lower. Everything is just heading lower.
I have parent-teacher interviews tonight.
Oh, already?
Yeah, they got their progress reports yesterday.
We have Mars are like mine's like on U.S. Thanksgiving. I was like, okay, just schedule us for because I'm like I don't know I'll be off. He's like a phone call. You don't go in anymore.
Oh, I'm going in tonight.
Yeah. We got the report cards today though.
Oh, good. Okay. Yeah. These report cards are just progress ones, so they just say good, progressing well.
That's the one we got.
Yeah. So I was at the Remembrance Day, Veterans Day Assembly, and I already spoke to my son's teacher. So, but I'm going to go back there tonight and see what's up. I already talked to Marissa. I was like, what kind of questions? Like, I need to either embarrass him or try to get it all figured out.
We got to embarrass him. Oh, well, that's a West Indian thing. West Indians like to embarrass their children instead of the other way around.
Okay.
Just how it is.
All right. So anyways, that should be fun to do that there today. And the wife will take my daughter. And then we have chess right after that. So it's going to be fun. Fun afternoon or evening in the Katina household today. All right. So just another out there, 401.70. It just, again, bouncing around too much. I've taken a couple outs here. That's the 50 period. I don't know. Down into still double digits, but low double digits now on Tesla. We'll wait on that one. 15% left. We just took another piece out. 12.5% left. Now, if I could just do 2.5 all the way down, that's fine. If we're lucky enough to get that 98 again, that'd be fantastic. So that's what we're waiting for now as we make some money back here. Yeah, some people have some great rates, man. 1.5% for Rivian Millionaire, 2.3%.
1.5.
A couple others there. I had a similar rate for a minute there.
Yeah, but it's well. The thing about it here is like you'll have a great rate at some point. Here in Canada, it's just you don't get to hang on to it.
I mean, we're in rate cut situation now, so hopefully
it'll come back. Well, we don't have a choice. We have to keep cutting and cutting and cutting. Our economy is having real issues. Then throw on top of it, obviously, the trade war. And it's not going too well for us. Here in Canada, that is absolutely for sure. Canadian banks are all right, though. And actually, financials...
Banks are huge.
Okay, well, that being said, today is the day that you didn't have... Like, we had some healthcare strength recently, even with the pullbacks. But today is the day you're not really even seeing it. Like, JPM is down, the XLF... when this will eventually load. The XLF is not looking terribly good, only down 1%, but these were rocket ships that held so well yesterday, and they've been faring pretty well, but XLF fails the high again, just keeps on doing it, and this is, even they're starting to pull back. This is an everything dip at this point. And we were talking, when the first thing that we mentioned, or at least the first thing I mentioned when we came back to you guys at 2 o'clock was what had happened to gold, right? With the USD moving around. So this was an everything dip, unfortunately. And that's why you get people a little bit more spooked that you could have a deeper pullback. I'm still feeling like that's the case. I'm gonna throw up the early look imbalance because there's at least...
There's something?
Yeah, there's supposed to be a big one, but oh, this is so annoying. We didn't have this in the system. I wanted to have a look at that SPAC, and I don't think we had it. This was supposed to be a SPAC open today. And that wasn't our system. Those have been pretty good lately, just for an in-and-out trade like an IPO. Cliff, that's an early look sell. Nothing too crazy. Pfizer's not that big of a deal. Pinterest. We'll keep an eye on this because the more volatile the day, the better chance that you can have some action with the imbalances at the close. But that's a bad sign, gold. That's a bad sign.
You'll be seeing, we're at a tournament tomorrow. You'll be seeing Obi and Neil, so that should be exciting. Yeah, exactly, of course. Hockey.
I ask like I don't know.
Yeah. It's just,
I should have said where.
Yeah, like North York area. So
okay.
That should be fun. So we'll be seeing everybody near Downsview Park and whatnot.
Don't you have to buy her something if she gets a hat trick? I seem to remember something about this.
Oh, well, she wanted a cat, remember, but we already got a cat. So,
okay, so not bad. Oh, that's right.
Buy or something. I buy her everything.
No, that's what it was. We were talking about
Yeah. I literally spent so
You know what
much
happened
money.
yesterday? Erin officially said she wants, she didn't say an Oculus. She just said she wants a VR headset.
Oh, VR
Like,
headset?
Daddy, we need to get the VR headset.
Yeah.
And the whole time I was like, look, I'm not going to sit there and buy it for myself, but I'm like, the second, she doesn't know. She doesn't know that this might actually happen. She's not going to watch the show. I was like, the second that she wants one, then I can argue that we can have it in the household. Because I feel like
just make the decision.
no,
My
like,
kids
I'm not
got
gonna
one
get it from, I don't have enough,
3 years ago.
Man, I don't have enough time for myself. If she's
I've never even put it on.
That's what I'm saying. If she's not using it, there's no point having it in the house.
But she wants
I'm
it,
not going to use it. But now that she's interested in it, now we can
Just
get
get
it.
it.
So I can actually.
Yeah, there you go.
So the question is whether we do it for Christmas or her birthday.
Well, which one's first?
Christmas is first, but
Then
her
do it for
birthday-
Christmas. What do you mean?
Yeah, we
know,
usually the big items are for the birthday. We're not really like the big item Christmas thing. We're more of like a
Yeah, I guess so. It's not.
And we kind of told her like her next, because what we make her do is she has to save her money, and if it's really big, okay, well you have to contribute X amount to your birthday gift or whatever. We could do that for Christmas too, I suppose.
All right.
But if anything's a really big purchase, it's like, look, you get money from aunts and
That's why you
my
save.
godmother and grandparents, and you know, so you have to save it, and then if something's big, if you contribute X amount, then you can have it. We're into that. And we got a super chat from Danielle. Is it too? Oh, I should put it up. My bad. Thank you. Is it too late to buy Palantir or Tesla or QBTZ short hedge in your long-term account?
Oh, too late to short it.
If you're looking, okay, but the problem with, like, if you're talking about selling calls,
Tesla.
if you're just talking about using leveraged ETFs as a hedge, then that better be very short-term because of decay. But if you talk about like this break, I tend to think you could head lower, but it's how do you want to plan on hedging it? Right? Like to me, selling covered calls is usually how I would approach it. I don't do it any other way because I think using those leverage ETFs isn't necessarily the best long-term way to do it. But as you might have heard, we just broke down ES low of the day again, NQ low of the day again. If you have a short, it's at the low of the day again. Is what it is. It's not one of the, it's not a good day. It's not a good day.
I'm just getting some shorts for Obi here. Yeah.
Oh, I already did it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry. He
said you didn't
messaged me.
respond. Okay, I'll tell him.
You know what? I did it, and I didn't respond that I had. That's my bad.
Okay. Oh, good. All right, good. Done. I'll just tell him that because he was messaging me. But yeah, Obi's in for me tomorrow. So you in for me tomorrow. Good, just making sure that he understands that. All right. So yeah, man, look at that. Let's go. I want to take this too. Yeah, so we just got 390. Is that 400? Where was I bidding? Yeah, 400. So 400 flat there we get on Tesla as we get more and more outs, right? I mean, we talked about getting out at 2.5%, 2.5%. So we have 10% left now on this name as, yeah, man, good. We'll wait to see. Only now 40 minutes left. And today we have, good. Now Obi's asking me about how my day's going and everything. Come on, dude. I'll tell this to you after. I must be typing.
He's all chatty Cathy. He's waiting for the...
Yeah, he's not doing anything.
He's waiting for the imbalance.
Yeah, what a guy. Okay, so there's something I want to talk about. But let's go to the super chats because I do not remember.
Sir Poopy
Perfect, it's for you.
Paper
Perfect.
Hands. See, it cuts off... Yeah. What? What's wrong with that name, Ramin? Longtime viewer and friend of the show. You think gold, silver, etc. dumping shows fear of interest rate cut not happening, even a rate hike instead? Well,
Whammy.
I would think so. That has a part of it. I don't think they raise. I don't think you get a rate hike. Maybe there's some. I think the
fears of interest rate
of
cut.
no cut, yes.
Oh, not happening.
That, but is anyone really fearing a rate hike? We're not there. Look, we're not there, man. We're not. Rate hike. I don't think so. Yes, the lack of a cut.
Oh God.
Yeah, the lack of a cut. Yes, hike. I mean, no.
I mean.
Yeah, that's a.
I've never. This was.
Yeah, it's way down.
I checked yesterday. It was 66. 60, remember yesterday was 2/3, 1/3.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Well, I hope this is December 10th, man. We are not even that far away.
No, I can see the pausing. I can see a pause. But rate hike?
Well, they don't have the numbers yet. I mean, if we can get some of those numbers coming through, then let's see what jobless claims looks like. Let's see if we can get a CPI print or whatever. Then we can have a better judgment on this. But yeah, if they pause the rate cut cycle, this market is going to die, like die. Whew, sorry to be so grave there, but I really do think that a rate, if they don't cut in December the 10th, you're going to see Nasdaq down 4 or 5% that day, especially if it's 50-50.
But I think the problem is if that goes from 50% and then all of a sudden we're already getting to the point where it's known, I think you might have a more, like you'll probably end up in the same place, but you'll have fallen so far that we might not even have that big of a move down because we've fallen enough.
Like you will see 50% down in many names. You will get your Meta 450. You will get all of those. If there's no rate cut,
I think you could pause.
You will get
it. I think a pause.
Oh, yeah, I'm talking a pause.
Yeah.
Like if they hike rates,
they're not hiking rates.
Then I'm just going short the Qs.
That's not happening.
And then I'm just walking away so I don't average out of it.
They're not hiking rates. Pause, I can see. I could see a pause, but
all right.
Let's be real. There's no way.
Are we looking for a Dara?
Guys, I want to opine on this a bit too. So I haven't heard any talk from any Fed members ever about rate hikes. However, the cut talk certainly is, as we saw with Fed Chair Powell at the last Fed meeting, it's been a lot more moderated, a lot more people here expecting, if anything, as mentioned, it'll just be a pause at this meeting. It is worth noting as well here, a lot of these Feds were initially using labor market concerns as their reason to cut rates because they're still worried about inflation. But now we have some of the more hawkish members of the Fed, most notably Fed's Hammock, actually saying, hey, I don't think employment is even that big of an issue anymore. So if they don't view labor market as a concern still, that I think is going to be the make it or break it. So if we do get any jobs data, which I know now we're not getting unemployment apparently, but if we get any kind of jobs data, that I think would be the biggest thing to watch because the Fed seem to be in agreement that they're worried inflation is too high. What I think could maybe move things is going to be any labor or employment numbers.
Yeah. Thanks, Adara. Oh, we have a key for that.
Thank you very much, Dara.
There you go. You have that key. There you go.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. That's another new key that we have. There's this one too. Everyone asks this. Yeah, smile when you hear that one.
I could do without that one.
You don't like the Flintstones?
No, I do, but when am I going to use it? What is that?
I have no idea. I have no idea the context.
Right, like you just use it there, and I was thinking, like, okay, what does that mean? You know, yeah, maybe it's like you're running away from a trade or something like that.
Bruh.
That I can think of context.
Oh, is that bra? Did that just say bra?
Bruh.
What is that saying?
Bruh.
Oh.
Huh?
Okay.
I don't have that.
Yeah, we may need some work on some of these. Yeah, those ones. Yeah, all the OG ones are solid, man. Just some of these newer ones. We'll get some ones going on there, but yeah, we have that annoying laugh that Joe does, but you know, there's a lot of annoying things. Yeah, with that laugh. But okay, yeah, that's it. So let's go. Yeah, sounds like that bra. The laughing is a meme or something like that.
Oh, okay. That's why.
As that goes. Okay. That's that. All right, so Tesla's on the way back up. Nothing's really hitting on my scanners right now. Across. I'm going to actually reset them here.
Has a super chat for us, though.
Oh, good. I haven't seen anything in a minute.
We've got what up to you as well. What is your view on SoundHound? Well, remember the discussion we were just having about rates? Probably not a name that you'd want to be in under those circumstances. I mean, that being said, like if you really like it, this is about the only place that it's been really good to buy the stock. But look at, there hasn't been a moment that it's held the 200 period moving average where you needed to be in it when it was bouncing off of it. You didn't need to. You could wait for a consolidation above it like that, and then a breakaway, consolidation above, breakaway. This one happened fast, but this one, you know, consolidation, breakaway. So why wouldn't you just, if you like the level, because it's a 200 period, presumably, most times people get a question like this, it's like, where would I dip by? So, you know, let it consolidate. This is distinctly different from the other times it tested the 200 because that was during an uptrend. Like there's a breakdown, everything else is uptrend. This is falling knife time into the 200 period moving average. Assuming a bounce on this type of name, not really. Like I will buy stuff that look like they're free falling if I think my time horizon and the fact that they're printing cash is good enough. Not necessarily a SoundHound. So I wouldn't blindly buy here. You know, give it a chance to do something constructive for a week or so, or at least a few days off of this level, and then maybe you can revisit it That would be my approach to these types of names. You just get in a lot of trouble blindly buying these levels, especially when the market looks like it's turning a little bit here. What is Joe? See, now the funny thing is, I don't think I know this one. I'm like, why don't I know this Joe's laugh thing? Not that I want to hear it, because I feel like it's going to be a bad button to hit, but.
What, the Joe laugh thing?
Yeah, I don't know what this Joe
It's the most annoying, stupidest thing of all time, but if you want to hit
But you can't say that and then not.
I don't have the button.
Because it just makes me want to hear it, just out of curiosity.
It's like it goes, ha ha, something like that. It's the stupidest thing of all time, but they like to hit it. Everyone has their thing, so I won't throw.
Eddie Murphy has the best bad laugh. You know, like he used to laugh like that in like Beverly Hills Cop, and I can't do it. But if you go back to like Eddie Murphy in his first few movies, he had like, it was really awkward, but it was hilarious. The Eddie Murphy laugh. That's funny.
All right. Yeah, the other one is stupid. But people probably like it in the chat, so that's fine. To each their own. All right, so just looking for more. I mean, nothing's really loading up here. We still have Boeing is at VWAP apparently, is what I'm seeing right here. Yes, so there it is. So I finally see, like, here's an alert. I just reset them. Boeing VWAP, Starbucks VWAP, Marvell VWAP. So whoopsies. These are all from eSignal. You can catch out eSignal. Catch that link in description for your free month of eSignal as well. I want to thank them for continuously sponsoring us as we go along. I'm going to get out of another 2.5% rate here at 30. If it dips down, we'll take that fill. There it is. Well, that was me at 31. We got missed there, so that's nice. Hopefully it just rips through us and we take that one out. Just as we go, because I'm going to stop out anyways up here, and I don't need to be, the imbalances are now 30 minutes, there we go, we get the fill, but the imbalances are now 30 minutes away, or sorry, 20 minutes away, 30 minutes away from the closing of the bell, and this is what we have so far. Cliff is on there. Not too much else here that I'm seeing. We have BMNR a little bit, 600,000, so we can check out if that moves. We had a good mover on that name recently as well, BMNR, so maybe something to look at there. But yeah, not much here on the imbalance locator so far. Cliffs, Pfizer, this ALUB, I don't even know what this is.
No, it's a SPAC that debuted today.
Okay, so yeah, we'll pass on that for now. Or we can watch it still.
No, we didn't get put in the system.
Okay, so
I gotta start making tickets for those because I feel like maybe I'm the only one that cares about the mid-real trading. So
for sure, you don't. I mean, every time you put one in, it seems to get through.
Yeah.
All right, Adair, what you got? What you talking about over there?
We have commentary from Fed's Kashkari to discuss. So as I was just mentioning there, we were talking about rates. Kashkari echoing there are some concerns with the labor market. He's saying there's, quote, pockets of weakness. But then he also said that the resilience in the economy actually called for a rate pause in October, and that the data that he's seeing so far suggests more of the same since that meeting. He also said that he has, quote, no strong inclination yet on whether or not to cut in December. So a lot of these Feds are kind of indicating not necessarily that they won't cut in December, but that they don't know, they're not really sure yet. Fed's Kashkari echoing that type of sentiment. Back to you.
Well, I wouldn't expect Kashkari to say anything different. That's our boy. He spells his name kind of funny, but you know, and he's not a voting member, by the way, Kashkari. Maybe he will be at some point next year, but he is not currently a voting member. Looks like we're trying to bounce a little bit. I saw a couple people in the chat were like, yeah, we could be bottoming out here. Look at that. There's a green candle with the outside chance of following another green candle on the ES. It's a bit of a bottoming tail. I'm going to jump out. It's past 330. I mean, the stock I'm in is making higher lows, at least for now. So if I can catch the bid off the even, I'll just go ahead and take that. Yeah, just take what you can get at this point. I'm looking up because I'm checking out Apple. Like, if we're going to bounce, does that look interesting? Not terribly. Like, I would love something that was a little bit more, let's break through VWAP. Let's look like we're a little bit strong, relatively speaking, and not just trending lower. Someone just said GEV's ripping. I seriously doubt that. Oh, it is.
The market's trying to go.
I just took my out at SMCI. It keeps bouncing off the even dollar, so I'm just going to get out. Why is GEV, it's a volume spike. Not the kind of stock that just randomly does volume spikes at this time of day. Oh, here we go. Oh, no, this is not a news story. I see GE Vernova, Siemens Energy, and Toxa supply gas turbines for Syria reconstruction, sources say. I feel like I read this before somewhere, but it says 250, so maybe that's actually did just come out there. Maybe I actually, no. It's this GE Vernova supplying gas turbines to Syria, Adara. Yeah, I heard that earlier, much earlier. Anyways, GE Vernova is moving on that, still down 2.7%. And if you want to talk about names that got frothy, these energy plays for the data centers, they got frothy too. And whether it's this or Vistra or Constellation, they've been in a bit of a down channel. So you'll obviously like them better. Maybe the 200 period moving average would be the first spot. Also, it's got a bottom channel. It doesn't really have a clean top of the channel. There's no point in me drawing it. But if you break this, it gets ugly. But for now, it's been holding the bottom of this channel. I'm just kind of hoping it goes sideways enough, and then it just starts lining up with the 200 period, and then you can bounce from there. And JB, maybe Michael Burry gets this one right. I don't know. Apparently, if he rolled up shop, then apparently he doesn't even know either, which is fair. Sometimes just being like, I don't get it, is a fair enough answer. Like, I can respect someone that says, you know what, I don't get this. I'm just gonna give up trying and move to something else or a better idea. Not that I actually know that he did roll up. I haven't read it for myself. We just heard the story this morning. I've yet to actually read an article that says Scion has closed shop.
I mean, the Nasdaq down 2% right here. It's not even. Look, it sucks because you're going to look at your account and wonder where that 2% went, or more, depending on what stocks you're in. I was looking at BMNR down 10% today. And it's just like, that's the part that sucks, right? Is the fact that what you could have maybe gotten out of yesterday or whatever day, and now you look at your position and you're like, man, wasn't I more aggressive at Palantir top 190 or at Tesla 440 or Nvidia 200? I mean, it's all gonna look like that. Like yesterday I sold some at AMD at 256. That's not even, like, that could be 256 tomorrow. Like, all of these names can rally back in really a heartbeat. So I don't think today is worth panicking too much about. Obviously, we've had a lot of fun shorting today, and we've done quite well doing so. But this is what the Nasdaq looks like. So it is a nice pullback. If you are a dip buyer of indexes, then you're at the 50 period moving average, which really hasn't even been an issue since April. So you might have got worried there. You might have got worried here. You might have, there. Now you're having another opportunity, same one you had like last week. So yeah, hopefully this time is the same, and we're able to bounce off of it again. And if it's different, then I worry, right? And then I think we can start to break, and then everybody, all the pundits or whatever will say, well, we didn't hold the 50, and because it is a well talked about level, especially on the broader indexes. So the 50 period moving average on the daily has to hold. And that has to hold now. So we're right there right now. Let's see if it can do that. Let's call it 600. Let's call it 600 on the Qs. So if we hold that today, which it looks like we probably will do, then we wait for better trade tomorrow, and we move off, right, of that. We did get, I was going to say BABA. I got filled today at 160, and that trade's fine by me. I mean, this is a level that I feel like it's come down a little bit into there. And it's just an average in. Like, I'm adding 25% to the position I currently have. So I have 10 grand in there right now. I put 2,500 more, averaged up into the trade as we were long from Alibaba, and averaged up, didn't get anything out up here. Just want to see again, they talked about Quen and some of their AI trying to move around a little bit today. And so if we do get a bump tomorrow, Alibaba started the day at 163, came into 160. A perfect level that we wrote down on here was 160 to 161. Looks like we get that there today. Yeah, I mean, it held up fine. 160. The low is only, look, the low of everything today is pretty low. 158. The low on Tesla's 396.
It didn't fill the whole gap in, though.
What gap? No, there is no BABA gap. That's already.
Oh, no, I mean just from yesterday.
Oh, no. Well, I don't even, where were we yesterday? BABA's had 2 down days, it looks like, in a row here. 165, down there to 156, back down into 157 today. So, yeah, Alibaba's had some dip buy opportunities. We just haven't really been in them.
You know what that reminds me? Remember we were joking around about how JD just doesn't move? Well, this little support might actually break down on JD. JD has been chilling out for a while, 30 to 35. The actual low is like 29.50. This is the kind of thing where if it breaks down, like, that's going to be a juicy short for everybody. Oh, here we go. There's a super chat in here that we just got. But why do I not see it? Oh, it's not? Okay, so it's, my bad. Our little page where I can put that up for everybody to see is not working. Jordan Chevalier forgot to type message. Can Can you explain your use of VWAP? It's different every time frame, and I don't understand what anchored VWAP is. Oh, so these are two separate things. If you see the volume-weighted average price on my charts, you won't see it on my daily chart. You won't see it on my 15-minute chart. I only use it on an intraday, which is my 3-minute chart. And I mean, the simple thing about the volume-weighted average price, it just simply takes every single candle, right, creates an average based on whenever you start it. So the key thing is when you start the data going in the morning. So you might, like mine starts at like 6 a.m. Now you're going to normalize by the open because all the big volume comes in at the open, but there might be slight differences based on when you happen to start it. And an anchored VWAP is, we don't have it at Real Trading, but anchored VWAP is simply a tool where you can pick the starting point. So you might use anchored VWAP, something like, pick the starting point of the all-time high, and then take the volume-weighted average price from there. So it's a separate metric. Usually, it's something you would use on a higher time frame. So like to me, VWAP, the regular VWAP, is something I would use intraday on a 3-minute or 5-minute chart. And the anchored VWAP is something I would use on a daily chart or maybe a weekly chart. You might anchor it to an earnings day. You might anchor it to like this earnings buy, let's just say. And then you want, well, what's the average price, volume-weighted average price from this point or from like an all-time high. So that's just different uses, different time frames. I can't really show you anchored VWAP on this platform. I hope that does answer your question. And yeah, I mean, there's no such thing as a bad question, ultimately. And if we say something that doesn't make any sense, like we use lingo or whatever it might be, and you're like, oh, I don't get what they mean by fade that or, you know, getting flat, just let us know. Sometimes we'll drop into our vernacular. And if we're going too fast as well, like, you know, no such thing as a bad question. Early look for the imbalances, sure we can. Linea LA Apartments, interesting name. Nothing standing out. Unless you like this NAKA from the morning, which is useless. You have Cliff, that's a sell of 2 million. Pfizer was there before, 1.3 sell. BAC is a sell. UMC, that's 1 million shares. Nothing big, and remember, it's only New York, so anything that's Nasdaq would be from the open, kind of residual. It's only New York until we get to 350. And at 350, you'll see some Nasdaq names pop in. That's where Tesla or Nvidia might show up on the imbalances. Typically more interesting, but nothing is standing out on the early look unless you happen to care about Cleveland Cliff. Somebody might. 2 million to sell. That's actually pretty good size. But, you know, like everything else, already at the lows. And bouncing with the market here. Look, this is just following the market. Why does every chart look exactly the same today? Downward trend, catches a bid when the market catches a bid. It almost doesn't matter what you pull up today. They all look the same.
Yeah. All right. I was just typing. And you, of course. All right. So, yeah. Oh, by the way, so there it is, man. We'll end that trade.
That's definitely louder.
It's louder in here, but I don't think it's louder out there. There it is, a nice little downside play right here to start with, or upside, sorry, on Tesla. So great, you know, great reload, everything. We talked about having only 10% left, and thankfully that's all that we had as it breaks through the top. And we were telling you, you know, every single one of these outs was 2.5%, and we had, what was it, 15%? So, you know, add that up, might even been less than 10%, you know, after all of that. So. Yeah, there goes Tesla. If you're looking to buy something that's strong, and then if you are thinking about a rebound, I mean, I was just saying, you know, this wasn't even that bad, and here we go. The market's now heading back up to the upside, so that's a good little mover now. But yeah, 273 now for Apple, just flat on the day, so that would be something to look at. We talked about the strength that could potentially be coming back for Google, as they haven't done anything wrong, but they're still down 2.5%, so that, you know, could be a dip buy opportunity. The stocks that have gotten hit today that I think are buys, that if you're going to try to stay away a little bit from Mag 7 land, SoFi down 12% right there. Wow, right back in. So that would be something to have a look at for SoFi.
Is it at the 50?
No, 50. No, not even close. right now. You just the 50, yes. Sorry, the 50, yes. Sorry, I was thinking the 200.
Oh, the 200.
Yeah, the 50. So I recently bought down here at this 50 when it was at 25.50. Now at 28, maybe there is. I'm not. There's the 200. I'm not excited about buying this dip. I just think that we're getting closer to possibly doing something there, and I think SoFi is a long-term play anyways. So nice to see that starting to move around a little bit there. SoFi back in today, and I've already said Robinhood talked to me at a hunch, and that's coming in soon. Right now, 120. So SoFi has a similar day today that they did, similar day tomorrow that they did today, and you will be seeing SoFi in and around that $100 mark pretty soon. Down $10 today plus. Let's see where we go. Actually down more than that, right? We opened yesterday, we closed at 130. Okay, so 133, 120 was the low, 13 or so dollars down today for SoFi, which sucks, man. I mean, I obviously hold, or for Robinhood, I hold SoFi, which has been bad. And I can only assume that Webull is probably down near $9. Yeah, so Webull also getting to the downside there, now down another 6 and a bit percentage points as traditional finance down pretty good too. JP Morgan was 322 or something earlier today. Yeah, 321. That's down 3%. So, you know, everything today not doing really well.
No, nobody's scared. Goldman's down 3.5. I mean, Goldman's down the same. Actually, Goldman's down more.
Buy strength in, buy weakness into strong spaces, right? I think the banks have been showing us some strength. So this move down, just honestly, man, it's like just wiped out the last 2 weeks. Might be worth picking something up down here. But yeah, it sucks. Sucks today. Because most of us are net long.
Unless you're Cisco, that's right. Good point, Harsh, in the chat. Cisco made, there's a stock that's not Eli Lilly that made an all-time high today and held on to some of it. Not all of it, but some of it. See,
remember, its all-time high goes back 25 years.
Okay,
But still made it. It still made it.
It didn't hang on to it. Look, it's at VWAP. That's not bad. There's at least something there for Cisco potentially as a day two. It's aftermarket. I call it a day two play because this is day one trading it, and then tomorrow would be day two if it can hold 77.5. Someone put in the chat, Boeing looks like there's something there. We already talked about Berkshire. That's another good point. Water Dragon Clan in the chat.
Water Dragon.
I love the name. I like reading the names.
We have so many good names here, yeah. That's a great one.
Like these are on fire names, like really, Water Dragon Clan. Like, that just sounds like you should be out. You should be on like Cobra Kai or something. You know, like that. You're
Water Dragon.
I haven't even seen the latest of that. Like
neither have I. We started watching that. Maybe I should start it again.
I started the new. You know the Squid Games game?
Oh yeah, we watched the first season of that. I got bored of it.
The one, yeah, actually I don't even remember what it's called. I watched the first episode.
Challenge, I think it's called.
That's what it's called. The second, I watched the first episode of the second one.
My kids want to watch it, but we watched the first one, the whole thing.
I think I'm already like, the first season I can get through, but the second season it's just kind of the same thing again.
Yeah, I'm not about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
What was I going to say?
346. I mean, we're getting ready for the imbalances, so that should be fun. We can watch out for that again to see what's going on over there. BMNR does have a big sell imbalance again, so we can watch out to see what's going on there. BMNR right now, watch out, see what goes down on this stock. There it is right here. So I just saw it. Yeah, there it is. 1.3 million to the sell side for BMNR. To look forward to there if you are a trader of this trust. A sell side with it being down 9% could be interesting there. Interesting look for BMNR. We can watch out and see exactly what's going on. But yeah, BMNR, a good one. And we'll look to see if there's any more love for that particular name as we get ready for this in only 3 minutes. BMNR, sell side action.
Yeah, that's...
Is it? Yeah, sell side. I didn't want to say it the wrong way. Yeah, sell. Okay.
That is pretty large. I think we saw them the other day for a big sell, and then it paired right off.
Right.
If memory serves. And it was about... I feel like it was about the same size. So it is worth watching. You have to. Because this was the stock that we presume like a couple of days ago.
Yeah, it was.
Was it last... Maybe it might have been last week, actually. I think about it. That went absolutely ham at the close. And you know some traders make some real bank. So if it's going to be that big of a sell, it's the only thing that stands out. There's nothing else remotely interesting on this imbalance locator except for BMNR. I'm kind of with you. I'll have that up. We'll see. That G Vernova Arun is still running. It had that news. I just read it. It was like supply gas turbines for Syria reconstruction. That's the other thing that bodes well for, you were talking about Caterpillar.
Yeah. Like,
who do you think... I know it's not cool, but it's just true. Who do you think gets to rebuild in places like, you know, when eventually when the Ukraine war will thankfully end, you know Caterpillar is going to make a bunch of money rebuilding. That's just how it works.
Yeah.
And yeah, you know, it's the way of the world, and yeah, you're not going to feel good about it, but if you own the stock, you're going to benefit from it. So that's just how it is. 1 minute to go till the imbalances come in here. JB wants a poll. I can't really, what we want for a poll here? The market's not doing anything but falling all day long. There's no big earnings names as well. I don't really have a good idea for a poll, guys.
How about what will the market do tomorrow? I mean, this is what you know. I think we can get away with.
What will the market be at?
Will we be green or red tomorrow open?
Oh, at the open. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, will we be looking at a rally back or not? Right
we'll
now,
leave it up through the aftermarket too, so
yeah,
you guys can see it at the end of the.
We can have a quick look there and see what's going on. BMNR fading here into as the market pulls back just a little bit. Well, so here we go. Only 30 seconds left. We'll have these imbalances up for you. I will just change them so we only get the active ones because we don't need these anyone that says broker here is going to disappear when I do that. So there it goes. Now it's gone. And now we have 15 seconds until we see the active imbalances. See, this is from 9:29. So we won't count that one. We'll watch out to see what BMNR does right now as it's getting faded just a little bit to the downside. So here we go. 5 seconds left. We could see a big move here one way or the other as the future's still, wow, we were just pretty decent there. BMNR not even on here now, of course. As it gets faded right back down to the downside. So, all right, that's what's going on. OpenDoor, Apple, these are all buys, right? So that's nice to see Apple with a bid late day, trying to get back to Greensville as I covered it up. OpenDoor with a sell as well. There's that MTSR, Medsera, I think that's the stock that's being bought out there by Pfizer, so we can watch out for that. Intel with a small sell. Apple looks like the biggest one. SOX L was there as well for a minute. Robinhood, like get low, get low, get low, as that one keeps going lower there. Robinhood. Yeah, okay, that's all that there is for me so far. All right, I don't know if you're doing anything here, but I'm pretty much done now. I'm going to say the market tomorrow, unfortunately, guys, I'm still seeing red. I'm going to vote red tomorrow on the market. I just don't think we're through anything. Did we get these super chats? Thank you so much for the $5. And thank you so much
we
again
didn't get that one.
For the $5. Two $5 in a row with no comments. So thank you so much to Trevor and to Jordan there, as we see all of these, man. And just sometimes we get busy doing other things and hosting a show. So and trading, by the way. So. Good trading today, good shorts there in Tesla. I don't know where this will wind up. So good one. I mean, we shorted 400, we shorted 402 and 403 or whatever and got some good returns on those positions. And now we just wait, man. Join Dara and I as we have not many earnings.
It was, oh, shoot. I already tweeted.
AMAT was the biggest.
Yeah, AMAT was the biggest one.
TMC was good. RCAT, Virgin Galactic, and Nubank.
Hey, Virgin Galactic. We were joking. It's like, yeah, that's not a good. It's not a good market for them.
Metals company.
Not right now. That is for sure.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I don't like that. But there's certainly a trading opportunity in a name like Virgin Galactic. And if you want to have enough capital, like so many traders do not have, or risking your own money, then this is changing. And that's because Trade the Pool is transforming how you can access the markets. Right. The limited risk trading model allows traders to use funded capital, while Trade the Pool absorbs the downside. This allows traders to focus on what truly matters: discipline, discipline, and more discipline. Also consistency and growth. When you hit the profit target, you keep 70% of the profits. No fear, no barriers, just real opportunity. This is a revolution of limited risk trading powered by Trade the Pool. Visit tradethepool.com or scan the QR code now to get 10% off your first evaluation. Thank you, Trade the Pool, for sponsoring part of the show. OpenDoor, by the way, is 1.3 million to the sell side, if you happen to be interested. I'm not terribly interested in that for OpenDoor. There's a lot of volume. That 1 million is not going to do a heck of a lot to OpenDoor. You need a much, much bigger number, unfortunately. So it hasn't been a good day for the markets. James Choi, hey, I voted for what I wanted to happen over what my brain's telling me. Like I'm looking at every single chart and where we're gonna close, and then what I think about where we're gonna close, and like all those, You know, like the MUs of the world still look like shorts. A bunch of the chip names still look like shorts. But, you know, I kind of want us to have a little bit of a bounce. But just because, like, I think we'll be green at the open tomorrow, but that doesn't mean I'm thinking green tomorrow.
That's the question.
I think but the green at the open is very different from,
but
if we're there, I'd short it.
What does the question say?
It says, will the market be green or red at the open?
I think red.
I think
you think green?
At the open will be green. I don't think that's going to matter much. That's
okay. So what is the vote right now? So Neil and I are split. Yeah, it's pretty split right now. So we'll see what happens tomorrow morning, and yeah, hopefully it's maybe it'll be flat, and then we can adjust our expectations at that point right there. But yeah, so far so good here. Thanks for everybody for watching. We only have 4 minutes now until we close up shop. Sorry, 6 minutes. Darren and I will be doing the recap show, but end of trading. We are on a prop floor here as well, so we have to be flat at the end of every day, and I'm just not willing to do anything right now. Tesla's marching lower. The Nasdaq may close at lows, so that's yucky right there. We don't like to see that kind of action here at the close. You know, closing near the lows, not great. Would have rather us sort of tried to hold something up there, but apparently it's hold my beer. We're not doing that at all, and we're going a lot lower right now. So yeah, not a great movement there at the end of the day. Tesla might not even hold 4 bills. So yeah, just some obviously some upset traders there today. If you've been waiting for a rebound, it just doesn't look like it's going to happen, and that's why you get your stop orders out and you trade accordingly every time, and you just trade the market that's in front of you, and there it goes. Like, look. We got stopped out at Tesla at 403. I mean, now you're back down to 399 and really going lower. I mean, what's going on right now? This market is just bleeding right here downside.
Bitcoin lower.
And there it goes. And it was just at 398. Now it's at 402. So Tesla, something just switched up there real quick. And that's why when you see us in these trades, man, you can't be in it for a very long time as this market just keeps going back and forth here today. And these imbalances, they're affecting stocks more than normal from what I'm seeing right now, as that was just $3 straight to the upside there. FXI a bid, that's the China stocks right there. Hood turns, was a sale, turns into a buy. Amazon, I just saw was a sell as well into the close. I don't see that MedSera on here or not. Ethereum, still a bid.
No, it's like 500K, it's really
still a bid there for Ethereum. Look where Ethereum's going out at the lows today as well. So,
what is
yuck. Probably Apple was on the nice little rebound there. It's not at the lows, but it might as well be. I don't know.
Meta
you guys like long anything?
Meta's almost
Meta might be the key.
Meta's almost a VWAP. We already know things like Boeing. We're talking about tech names. Like, what are the tech names that are not at the lows right now? And Meta seems to be one. It could go green today. So, you know, there's always, what's the line? There's always a bull market somewhere. So, I mean, like, we showed that MedSera. It's pretty small. I'm going to go quarter what I would have before and just take the print and see what happens with that. But it was only 500,000 shares, right? Let's double check for that. You know what? I'm not here. I do this. You guys can't see, but it's like 500,000 shares to sell. I'll take a small amount of this bad boy, see what happens. But it's just a nasty day, and whether or not this ends up falling through remains to be seen. You know, just like a single bad day in here, and I get it. Yesterday was down too as well, but nothing like today. We are at the 50 period in the Qs. From the highs, the Qs are down 5%, maybe. That's 637 to 607, so $30, and that's 5%. We're at 5 off the highs on the Nasdaq. That is absolutely nothing. Like, the degree to which, if this is a bigger pullback, and if we do have some fears that we're not going to get a rate cut, like, are you kidding me? Like, we could go much further than this. And that's why, like, I think it might be sideways on a Friday, come at the open. But when I see what happened to these names, like Micron starting to turn. Remember we're talking about SNDK? Look at SNDK today. How do we feel about that? This is one of the strongest names, like the memory names, which have been leading things so much, Western Digital as well. What do we think about that? Does that feel like we could be making a bit of a top? I'd like to think that it does. So, you know, that's what it's about. Busy Trader said Marvell wasn't that bad today. There you go. Look for those kernels of strength. Was it not that bad? Load. Only 2%. Yeah, that's not so bad. That's not so bad. Only a couple of points down I don't think is the end of the world. I mean, it's not up, but, you know, it certainly could be a heck of a lot worse for them. Jason, I think when you start looking, we're talking about tech names, so when Jason just mentioned Costco, certainly this is a day where if you're diversified, you're doing a heck of a lot better. Costco up a point. Berkshire was great today. Lilly made an all-time high today. That's a strong one, certainly. And then, of course, you know, we talked about the banks, how they had been a point of strength. And this is something which is also a bit of a change, which is worth monitoring. You would have had relative strength in the banks during all of this move, and now they're even pulling back. And this is where it starts to feel different, right? Like if the banks were still strong and maybe if you didn't have so many double-digit movers, that'd be a bigger deal. Trevor Brucker, Tesla to 420 tomorrow. I kind of doubt it, but I wouldn't put anything past Tesla. That's not where my head's at. My head is at, you could easily be at 405, 406, maybe even like 410. But if we were gapped up that far, I would be surprised. It just doesn't feel like that's the way we're going here. You know, even the reversions, like the way that some of the moves reverted off the lows, just felt a little bit weaker and a little bit different today. But that's just, you know, you can change your mind on that tomorrow, and I reserve the right to. But it does feel a little bit different here, the way that some of these bottoms came. I don't like the way that gold moved at the end of the day, GLD with that crazy crash. Like, I think that spooked some things. And the closing bell, because we're here right now, brought to you by Beta Pro by Globex. Shout out to them. It hasn't been a good day unless you were short, but those types of ETFs allow you to capture profits on these types of days. So the market is now closed. The final tally is 2% to the downside. Lo and behold, I think it's like, what, a third 2% down day in the last 5 for the Nasdaq, 1.6 on the ES. I'm not really that into the Dow if you happen to be, but this was an everything down move. It's just how it is. Almost nothing was spared today, but the action was quality if you were holding some shorts and just about everything out there. Cisco managed to hold on to some gains. I'm sure that'll get talked about as an earnings name. That made an all-time high, as we mentioned, Lilly. Bitcoin closes. I mean, it doesn't close 24-hour market, but we're at 98,000. That continues its bleed. ETH is almost at 3,000. That's another thing we didn't even talk about. What if ETH breaks 3,000 tomorrow or on the weekend? Like that could get real. It could get real if that breaks 3,000. Watch out for anybody in BMNR. I didn't even realize that ETH was that far down. Yeah, BMNR is in trouble if that 3,000 breaks. That could be Cascade. The good news if it breaks on the weekend, BMNR has a couple of days for it to recover because they wait for the Monday. But it's been a wild one, everybody. We do have AMAT reporting after the bell. They're the only big one. You'll have Sean and Adara recap. Looks like they're already out. And hey, AMAT's actually up. Stocks can go up. They have beat earnings. Let's get the numbers from Adara. Your market recap show with Sean and Adara starts right about now. Go, Matt.
Guys, yeah, hey Adara, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. You mentioned that you're maybe overly tired today.
Yeah, not feeling the best. We're going to try to truck it out and through the rest of this here show.
We are not going to try.
We will do, because there's no try.
We will accomplish.
There's only do.
We will be here late for everybody. So
I have AMAT earnings also.
Yeah, AMAT right now. Nice little upside play for AMAT, but like we already said, the more we sit here and trade names and watch out for these earnings plays, the more they seem to come back down regardless of what those earnings were, because there's AMAT just hovering around 225 and change. What do the numbers look like?
So EPS, well, we had a double beat here. Adjusted EPS, 217 above estimates of 210. Sales, 6.8 bill versus 6.65 bill expected. So that would be a double beat, as I mentioned. Quarterly revenue, though, was down 3% year over year, even though it beat estimates. Now, apparently, their GAAP EPS up 14% year over year, but their non-GAAP EPS was actually down 6%. Record annual revenue, though, so for the fiscal year of 2025, their revenue grew by 4% year over year. Now, they're guiding, Sean, Q1 adjusted earnings between $1.98 and $2.38 per share. Midpoint more or less in line here with estimates of 213. Sales, they're guiding between 6.35 billion and 7.35 billion. Again, here midpoint in line. So tepid guidance, but double beat despite a revenue decline on a year-over-year basis.
Yeah, you can see right now 222 to the downside. Yeah, it seems like more of us come in here not feeling that well, then maybe we shouldn't be coming in. There it is, nice little downside move here for AMAT now as it turns red. So there we go, on a double beat. So not great there. We will look out for more earnings plays right here. The metals company, TMC, we could definitely have a quick look to see what that's doing right now. TMC, it's only a $5 stock, but that also has earnings. It looks like they're gapping just a little bit down here into 504. RCAT, you know, that's going to be coming out very, very soon. Of course, there it is, Red Cat Holdings. That'll be out. These are just all little small stocks. And then we have Space, Virgin Galactic, coming out today as well. So as soon as these numbers cross across your screen, or our screen, we'll flash them to you and get that going. Virgin Galactic down 7% today. So, oh boy, man, I mean, what a day it was here today as more nervous hands still continue to be in this market as we get some worries about AI valuation. We have some concerns here about recent earnings calls, the spend in the data center. We had $600 billion in data center spend for Meta, $500 billion for OpenAI. Oracle, we know, is in trouble as they look for financing on their spend as well. But there's the Nasdaq down 1.9%, a little bit of a bounce here in the after hours, but not a good day as the Nasdaq approaches its 50-period moving average one more time right there. We just went out on all-time highs yesterday on the diamonds, which of course is the Dow Jones. So there we go. The DIA down another 2% today, just off of all-time highs. So there that was, covering up the last 2 days. Nice downside play. And as we get nervous, and it was a good point by many people in the chat there, that as we get on Fed watch right now, gold making a move down in. And someone brought this up to us, and I had didn't even realize that this Fed interest rate right now, this is the tool. This is December. So right now it's 50-50. Or, I got to take a drink here, for an actual rate cut possibility there. We're closer than we normally are.
Yeah, the cameras.
Build some water over here. Yeah, this looks not great. All right, so that's 50-50 right now on the Fed rate cut. So, you know, that started sending a little bit of worry, I think, to the market, right? We need that rate cut. So, although we have AI names in trouble here today, especially the large cap names, we had Tesla down 7%. We're going to cover that in a minute as they had some battery worries. We had the S&P, the broader market, the S&P 500 down 1.5% today as well, as I think it's worries that are now starting to hit the market for Fed. So now we not only do we have worries about valuation in names like Nvidia, it's not even the valuation for Nvidia, it's just how far it's ran. Nvidia's valuation is still a premium to the market multiple, which makes sense to me. But there it is, Nvidia falling quite nicely off of its 210 high back into 187. So that's down 10% now from its high. So there you go on that one. Nice move down for Nvidia. AMD had themselves a little bit of a day as well, but these stocks weren't even the ones to cover today. Names like Tesla, I think kind of came out of nowhere. This one caught me by surprise for sure, Tesla today, as we make some downside plays. We had talked about them holding this 420. Well, that didn't last for very long. There's 420 right here, almost right away off the open. The minute that cracked, we just started to go lower. If you thought that 418 or something was going to hold, well, that wasn't true either, as we all just cracked in. The only level that really held Adara was this 396, 397. And right now we're above 400, so that should be interesting for a little bit of a hold there today. A stock that I know you like to trade, Eli Lilly. And again, this is why it pays to be a little diversified. Obviously, on a day like this, Eli Lilly was much higher to start the day here, but you could see a nice little fall back in, but still up 0.56% as we hold out on 0.5% and over that $1,000 marker there. So, you know, we have NU Holdings, New Holdings, that's coming out today as well. But I think we're out pretty much now. I don't know if RCAT came through, Adara, if we had any earnings. There goes RCAT.
I have TMC.
Okay, TMC,
and
the metals company.
And I also have 13F filing starting to come out here.
Okay,
so,
that'd be interesting to talk
David Tepper with Appaloosa Management, biggest one I'm seeing here looking through this, 30% reduction of VST or Vistra, but a pretty massive add here for Qualcomm, adding 255% here for QCOM. Just reading off that for David Tepper. Also pretty decent add for this Mohawk Industries MHK. But let's move aside from that and talk about RCAT, RCAT, revenue growth a staggering 646% year over year, sequential revenue growth 200%, guiding Q4 revenue to a whopping 1,455% year-over-year growth. I am not joking. And then also Q4 revenue guidance, they're expecting, or sorry, fiscal 25 revenue guidance expecting 124% year-over-year growth. So For every single metric for this quarter and then for next quarter, they are either expecting or reported at least triple-digit percentage growth. I also want to talk here about TMC. Now, they do not report revenue, so we just have to worry about their losses, which were unfortunately larger than expected. 14-cent loss, larger than the expected loss of 6 cents.
Okay. 14 versus 6. Okay, not too bad. Yeah. We coming in into a nice little level here on the daily. Again, the metals company, huge move up there as we talked about rare earth, and we talked about, you know, President Trump's move into LAC and MP and the United States government making those moves. So this is actually looking like it's getting into a decent level here if you do believe in that game moving forward. You're out cut more than in half. $12 high, now $5. And that was just, you want to talk about some of the froth coming out of the market. That's an October 15th high. Right there. Come all the way back in on TMC right there. So yuck on that one. Look, I mean, you might have just caught me there looking at Robinhood because Robinhood today bad. Right? And the reason why I wanted to talk about the rates was because of Robinhood, right? The Fed uncertainty can weigh on Robinhood because the higher for longer interest rates typically suppresses real retail trading activity, right? That's its largest revenue driver. So if you reduce investors' appetite to trade and to trade things like options and whatnot, that makes a problem for Robinhood. So they rely on steady cash flows coming through. Obviously, that $2,000 check would be great for Robinhood. But as the market starts to fall down, some of these longs that traders are sitting on turn into losses. And then maybe Robinhood, all of a sudden, if these higher for longer rates suppress trading, that's not great. We saw a huge run in trading with lower rates, and we like to see that as more exuberance coming in. And a lot of the names that are traded on Robinhood, like a Beyond Meat, or, I mean, now this is only $1. Wow. You know what, Beyond Meat, actually, wow, down 10% today. Again, an $8 name down to $1 again. Let's see if we can hold. Did we break $1 today at all for Beyond Meat? No. We should be putting this one on the radar for tomorrow. Neil's left already, but this is one that I want to write down because if we can bounce sort of off $1 there, that might be good. But look, man, lower rates is better for names like OpenDoor, better for names like BBAI, better for names that don't make any money. They want to borrow money and they want to get charged less for it. I do want to thank Beta Pro. Global X here for sponsoring our closing show before I forget to do that. But that's just a little bit of a story here. And, you know, if you're going to go downside on Robinhood, I mean, check out the big dog here. JP Morgan down 3% as well. So Robinhood's down 7, actually is pretty controlled. When I see a major name like JP Morgan to the downside, we saw Goldman Sachs lift the Dow to all-time highs yesterday. Goldman Sachs had a hell of a day yesterday. And look at this, whack, right back down in as if yesterday didn't even count. So there we go, man. So we can't celebrate too much. And then we also talked about gold getting hit here as well. So I just wanted to bring up some of these names because we do talk about them a lot on the show, but we're often sort of distracted via trading. But I don't mind this play here for gold. I think if you want to get some more into your account, that's a good one. And then silver, there's been a lot of talk on silver on the show. I know Neil's been looking at this on his watch list and whatnot and traded a little bit of it. They've had quite a week as well. Silver ticking up near their highs. We'll wait to see if we can break through $50 and get a new high there for silver. So, you know, unfortunately, there isn't too much earnings there. We do see space.
I have more on RCAT.
You have more on RCAT. Did you see space? Space just came out and kind of didn't really orbit here or anything like that. But
I have space.
Yeah, not too dramatic of a move. Anything you're seeing there? You want to talk about RCAT first? Whatever you want.
Yeah, well, I'll do RCAT. So I mentioned RCAT. They keep talking about how strong their revenue is, and I want to be very careful here with their revenue guidance because they're saying they're guiding like multiple digits of revenue. Like when you actually have the numbers, apparently those guides still miss estimates.
Yeah, it's heading lower right now.
Yeah, so that's basically what happened. So they, like I said, the way they describe this report is, it's up 124% year over year. Their fiscal 25 revenue guide, their Q4 revenue, they're expecting it to grow by like 1,400%. But the Q4 revenue guide, guys, actually missed estimates. They're guiding Q4 revenue between 20 mil and 23 mil versus estimates of 26.39 mil. Now their fiscal 25 sales guide, they lowered heavily. They're now guiding between 34.5 and 37.5 million, well below estimates of 70.1 mil. This visual was just a fun look at the billionaires, given the big drop. I haven't really updated this infographic since October 1st. Larry Ellison's net worth has dropped by around 100 bills since then. And Mark Zuckerberg went from the 3rd richest man to the 6th richest man. So it's a tough time to be a rich guy. No, but all jokes aside, yeah, check it out in X at GTV Research, posted a couple hours ago, part of a thread.
Yeah, okay. I just want to say, yeah, as soon as you started talking about RCAT there, as if we're the ones, you know, creating this move, but they were sort of.
I know, I felt weird with that.
But then it just goes bang right down there into 670 right now. So there goes
I have NU as well.
Back in the downside. Yeah, New Holdings is kind of interesting because this was always sort of called this. I mean, I remember this was a Warren Buffett backed to Berkshire backed introduction to the market when they IPO'd. They were a big supporter of this and a big backer of this name. And it looks like they're going to be fine. Again, often referred to as the SoFi of South America. I guess they have their charter. I don't know if there's a charter over there that they need in South America, but big in Brazil, I believe, New Holdings. So here's the move today, just pretty nasty heading into earnings, man. 1650 all the way down to 1550. But look how this looks on the daily chart. I mean, this is a great stock. Actually looking like it's performing a little bit better than SoFi right now. But what do you got on New? Because they are sort of just hovering around with not much volume here in the after hours.
I want to clarify. So I'm not seeing these on Benzinga yet. I'm seeing these on, they've been posted on social media by a couple sources, these numbers. So let's tell you what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a slight EPS beat, 16 cents per share versus 15 cents expected, up 45% year over year. Revenue numbers here, $4.173 billion, above estimates of $4.04 billion, and representing 42% year over year growth. So if I get any more confirmation, that'll let you know, but that's what I'm seeing circulated here. We also had that LAZR, that Luminar thing. They reported earnings, 21% year over year revenue increase, and then 20% quarter over quarter revenue increase. We'll talk as well here about U.S. and Argentina apparently opening their markets to each other in key goods. So it looks like we get a U.S.-Argentina deal. I also want to talk about this infographic here on the shutdown and the market performance, if I may.
Yeah.
So before I get any flack for this photo, guys, this actually is Trump's official photo for his second term. And I chose everybody's photos based on like the term they were in, their official pick. So basically, we did have a 3% gain in the SPY during the shutdown. However, we've already erased that gain, or more than half of that gain, after today's drop.
Right.
So, oh boy, is what I'll say to that. But yeah, it's interesting too. The two largest or longest shutdowns in U.S. government history, Sean, they both happened under President Trump, but they also were the two best for the market. However, unfortunately, we've already, again, given up half these gains. And that photo is legit his like official portrait,
I know that.
Which is
that photo,
so funny. Yeah. But yeah, so anyways, guys, this is the deal. I think it's interesting that Trump, two shutdowns, again, the longest, or two of his three shutdowns, ended up being the best for the market. Interesting stuff here. And again, market was up every time over the last 6 shutdowns over these last 3 decades.
And there is, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe there's another shutdown possibility coming in January.
We could get it, yeah, because they have to basically, like, this has to hold, right? This agreement.
And another vote coming, so.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it will be okay as we go there and look for another. Hopefully government shutdown avoided, right? I mean, it didn't really affect the market too much. If anything, it's a sell-off event today as we get to the downside. I just think this makes it look like we're just standing so close to each other. I don't. Who's over there doing this?
Don't
Fabian?
stand so.
No, what's up, Fabian? To me, it's up to you guys, but I don't love that look. But okay. All right. So there we go. The shutdown again. It just sucks because it does affect so many Americans, and I wish for that never to happen. We never have that experience here in Canada. Just the setup of our system is just not the same. You know, SoFi, wow, down 11% today. I don't know, man. I sat there and bought some Alibaba. Now I'm actually kind of feeling some kind of ways. I should have bought some SoFi. So I think we'll put some more money into SoFi there tomorrow. It might be even too early to be buying a lot of these dips. You know, you see these big moves down and you're like, oh, wow, that's quite the nice move. If you like SoFi yesterday, you must love it today, right? But the thing is, the market does change very, very consistently. Every day, you get a little bit of a different feel, right? So yesterday, we're loving SoFi after 4 straight up days. And then those 4 days get all clobbered by 1 day. You come all the way back in here on SoFi, as you can clearly see. Check out that graphic in your bottom right. Stay tuned. We are launching the Academy very, very soon, and that should be a lot of fun. So get ready for the Academy coming quickly and fast. Globe, what is GLOB? They just reported as well. No idea what this is. Globant. Globant down 7%. So if for some reason you own this stock, you're probably not overly excited. But yeah, Tesla today. Go
over SPCE, I just remembered either. I forgot.
We'll do that in a second. I just want to say, like, Tesla and Rivian today, both getting hit, right? I mean, both down 6, 7, 8%. So there's Rivian as well as Tesla downside. Let me just check on the older names here, like a Ford or a GM, still down 1.5% there, as they're not as intertwined to these huge moves and these huge runs. But GM upside today. So I was going to say, man, when you're selling $100,000 trucks and losing money on them, you need lower rates. So if we are now talking about possible Fed rate pause, then yeah, that's going to hurt Rivian, man. That's going to hurt Tesla. It's going to hurt Rivian. I am surprised that Ford and GM stayed upside as well. What about Toyota Motors? They've been actually trading okay. They're down 3.5% as well, getting hit on that news there today. You know, some names in China. We had Alibaba with some new looks on Quen today. I bought literally at 160. I sat there, got hit. So we're long more shares in Alibaba at these levels. So we'll see if that can battle back. A positive name. I don't know. Can you give me another positive name today off the top of your head?
Well, okay, we're talking about Lilly was positive at one point. Cisco, Meta was positive.
Oh yeah, where did Meta wind up actually?
Meta was, I want to start Rivian Millionaire for mentioning that as well. I think Meta ended up like barely green.
Yep,
But,
up a quarter,
yes,
good look there.
For META.
What do you think about Meta? Like, I know that you were very, very upset about Oracle.
Yeah, well,
and you were not liking how they had shot up there 40-50% on their earnings after you dug into it. And now, wow, congratulations to Derek. You nailed that one. I mean,
yeah.
I remember coming over here to me and you're just like, you know what, I don't like Oracle. And right there, man, you basically get 20 straight down days or so in Oracle as they have a problem. They're going to have a problem funding all of these.
Yeah. Well, I also just don't really know if I trust the numbers, because I told you guys I find it very sus when a company makes a big announcement that is deemed as positive after a double miss, like what happened with Oracle for that most recent quarter. And then I did the research. I looked at their reports because I wanted to do an infographic. And I didn't even have any bias at this point. I was like, I'll just do an infographic. I'll see what's their past cloud revenue been. And that's when I realized, guys, they didn't report this metric on their Form 8K until that quarter. They basically made this metric all nice and special so they could cover up for earnings. And I'm not just making this allegation blindly. I went through all their reports back like the next 5-6 years. And with ORCL, the other thing I want to say too, that I did, there's an infographic here, I'll pull it up at some point. But the other thing as well is, like, they would previously report, oh, we had cloud revenue, but they wouldn't really give you hard numbers. They'd just be like, oh, it was up this much year over year or down this much. And it was never on the 8K until this quarter. So again, guys, I will stop. Like, I'll rant about this another time if I have.
Where is Larry on that list of yours? Because he was one for a minute, wasn't he? Or was it? No, he never passed Elon. But
I told you his net worth down like 100 bills since I last did this a month and a half ago.
There it is right there, down into the 200 period moving average. So, you know, to Adara's point, probably justifiable to the downside, as we all worry about these data centers for sure. You know, we talked about Caterpillar building them. I think they'll be fine. But another name, and that's why I thought about Oracle, was Meta, right? I mean, the amount of money that these guys have sort of earmarked and put aside there for the data center build-outs and committed to as well, nearing $600 billion. Like, that is way much. Oops, that's not Meta. There we go, that's Meta right there. And you can see they are suffering a very similar fate to that of Oracle, not percentage-wise, but if you're gonna talk about their numbers from earnings, they were $750, right? You're now down $150, down to $600 right now for Meta, and possibly going lower. And I think that's why names like Apple, you don't even hear the word data center coming out of Tim Cook's mouth. He's not that interested in that. He's interested in building the products that they have.
And making the little golden apples to give to Trump.
Trump, yes. And then also, was there a watch involved there or something too? But
they're making Apple Pockets now to, like, put your
Yes, I saw that. It's a Japanese company, right? And they're little, because they're fashions. I don't know. So they were the actually interesting stat. That company, I'm not sure what it is, what the name of it is, but they were the ones that designed the Tim Cook, those tight black neck, what do you call those?
Neck brace?
No, man. Tim Cook, turtlenecks.
Turtlenecks. Oh, like the
that he used to always wear. Steve Jobs, sorry, not Tim Cook.
I was so confused.
Sorry, the Steve Jobs turtlenecks.
Yes.
So same company now, apparently chilling around with your $2,000 or $2,500 iPhones is now a fashion thing. You know, like how you carry around your little Labubu?
Yeah.
Why the hell I paid $100 or whatever.
People carry around their Labubu?
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do, man. My daughter has it like attached to her hockey bag or something.
But what does it do? What does it do?
Absolutely. What does it do? It just, all it does is cost me $100 and something.
They're $100?
On sale, probably. I think it would pay more than that.
They're that much money?
Yes, Adara. Nothing is cheap anymore. You're lucky you don't have kids. Well, you're not lucky. I'm lucky to have kids. But for expenses, yeah. Thanks, Marissa, for introducing them to Starbucks and everything as well. That was great. And Lululemon. But the good thing about it is Plato's Closet. So my daughter's actually in love with the secondhand stores. She can go in there and buy clothes on the cheap, and that's really good. So I do appreciate that right here. Oh, we have a super chat. So let's go over that quickly here and just see what's going on. My good friend here coming through about SoFi. Whoopsies, where'd it go? Here it is right here. So, Sean, you said it might be too early. If we go over to the screen here, we can show the super chat. You got it on. Okay, so thank you. We'll get rid of it, and then I'll talk about it right there as it shows up here. All right, Sean. Oh, damn it. Now I'm struggling because my screen is not moving. All right, let's read this together. All right, Sean, you said it might have been too early to buy the dip on SoFi. How to know when it's the right time? Did I give my thought also on Nebius? Okay, well, Nebius is a problem because we already talked about some of those data centers and whatnot, the build-outs going through there. So just quickly on SoFi, that's why we marked down the 200 period moving average, okay? But a good company, most of the time you don't see the 200 period moving average unless there really is like blood in the streets. And I would use that right there as like not an all-in level, but a level that if you get down into there, you want to make a pretty decent play on it, right? I mean, in SoFi, even if we zoom back in, you'll see this 200 period moving average, right? Doesn't really play until 740, 750, where we finally start to bounce off and then break off of it and get back to the high side. This is the tariff tantrum that we see in SoFi and in the whole market. Most stocks broke through the 200 period moving average. But again, if you bought on that, then you only had to withstand about a week of pain before just ripping back up to the upside. So I like this 50 period moving average. I think we talk about that quite often. This has really been holding since May. So you kind of go 200 to the 50 and blast. So for me, if you're starting a position, and a great question there, if you're starting a position, I think that's where you do it right now. So like I just got Alibaba as an example at the 200 period to average, at the 50 period to average up into this position. I like this stock, and I just think that, I think today's Nasdaq move, although I think it's red tomorrow, we could be red even into next week. I don't necessarily think we rebound immediately, but this is where I'm adding. I'm long down into here on Bob, or maybe even lower. So I've added into the position right now as we finally get back to the 50 period moving average, because it was well supported there and then blasting higher. You also had a good 200 period, but like now I don't add again. Like if we fall back into the 200, then that was where I would put on a quarter there and then maybe 50% of the position there and then keep that last 25% for potentially a rainy day, right? NBIS, so Nebius. Now, they got some lockups with Microsoft, I believe, OpenAI and whatnot, right? Nebius, they're just part of that whole, and they're not as nasty as CoreWeave on the way down or anything like that, but this gap, whenever you've seen gaps like that, I mean, it's not true that all gaps get filled, but anybody that bought right here that's loving life and didn't get out, are they averaging in right here? Or are they potentially putting their stops in this area? It looks like you got a stop that hit today down to $84, $85, which got a lot of traders out of this name. But if you open red again tomorrow, all of a sudden these become like resistance. So then you'll have to look for support. So for me on Nebius, you don't really have anything until you start to clear down here. So if we have a nasty day tomorrow like we did today, I'd be picking something up around $74, $75. You know, to me, I think this is like, when we don't have earnings, I really think the after show could talk more about this. So I do want to say I appreciate some of the questions here, because there are a lot of names that we can finally start to calm down a little bit and start to look maybe at what do we want to do tomorrow. You know, I used to have a segment and actually have it, oh, it's not on here. Well, we used to have this Stock Blitz where people would throw, because I used to do this show by myself, they would just throw like 10 names at me, and I would just sort of pick them and talk like that about some of the names. I know that was well received, but you know, more ideas as we continue to grow this after show. And I want to thank everybody for joining us again, and our sponsor Global X for everything right now. But that's a good question on that. So thank you so much for Nebius. But so we do talk about earnings a lot, obviously. Today we only had the big one was AMAT, so we only have 3 minutes left, and we can't go too much later. I'm pretty committed tonight. But AMAT down now, Adara. Their numbers, you said it was a double beat. We did get up to 231 right there.
The guidance was tepid, though.
Yeah, and again, whatever these reports are, you have to look forward. The market, that quarter's passed. So now we look to see what are we looking for now moving forward. AMAT down 5%. I think that's one of the big ones. RCAT, as you were reporting it, turned around as well.
Yeah, that was
That's now down 21%. So you want to talk about anything here? 2 minutes left.
Yeah, I do. I'm sorry, guys, about RCAT. I apologize. No, I'm joking. It's not my fault. But
No.
It is funny that as I read it, it did that. So I just had to make that joke. A lot of people ask me for a lot of earnings. So I'm going to try to go over what I can here. Someone asked me, I know Harry Lou in the chat was asking me about Southbow. Unfortunately, I still don't have it. We have a couple super chats too. Willis Addison, $2 super chat. NU, AMAT equal damp it. Downside graph, eye emoji, hand emoji, puts into earnings. Well, congrats to you. I'm sure you did quite well, and best of luck with those earnings plays because you never know until they open up the next day. I also want to thank IB Surfin for the $4.20 super chat saying Adara, or Neil and Adara's ex, love Neil's lessons. So thank you very much for the kind words there from IB Surfin, and hopefully you be surfing up some profits. So TSSI, Jaspreet Singh is asking me about, I'm not sure the details. Let me pull this up. TSSI was an earnings play here, guys. They reported a loss here of 6 cents per share, down from a profit last year, and sales down pretty heftily year over year from, I think I made up a word. Sales 41.83 million versus last year's 70 million. So almost halving our sales on a year-over-year basis. That's not a great look. I don't think anyone's going to say that. It would be. LAZR here with earnings. That is a EPS beat and a sales miss. And what else? We've got GLOB, the Glob, or the Globant. Globant is the company, but Glob is their ticker. So GL to the O to the B. Missing on EPS, beating on sales. Guidance here, slight miss for the quarter. Now, last but not least, SPCE. Shout out to Richard Branson. Let's go to space, guys. Q3 earnings or losses of $1.09 per share. That is better than the expected loss of $1.43, but sales, 365,000. That's so tiny. Missing estimates of 395.8 thousand, and they're expecting Q4 cash flow in the negatives, negative 90 million to negative 100 million. So keep in mind they're spending negative 90, or they're spending 90 to 100 million dollars, but they only made 365K.
I don't know.
So make that make sense, guys. That's my thought. That
sounds like a quantum play to me. Quantum down again today, down 11% on Rigetti. QBTS continues to get hit. And I only think about this. We could also go to SMRs of the world and OKLOs and all that kind of stuff because right now all these lower quality, not lower quality, but no earnings, speculative is the word I'm looking for. Some of these names continue to go lower. And one last look at SMR before we say, see ya. Wow, $23. Wow. I just put some money back. So I sold this at 57 and bought it back at 30. So good move, bad move right there on SMR, down another 10% today. Okay, Adara, get lots of rest there tonight. If you're not feeling well, please, sign off tomorrow. You don't have to come in if you're not feeling that well, but get a lot of rest.
We have DJT news.
I'm sure you'll be fine.
Thank you. We'll see how I feel. You guys know I'm pretty. I like to troop it out when I can.
Yeah, me too. I unless I'm really, really sick, like I feel fine. I completely feel. Yesterday I had like a coughing fit. Yes. I feel completely fine. It's more when you start to get those sniffles and everything, and plus you're kind of into flu season again. Like all I'm seeing on the news is get your COVID times flu shot over and over again. So I don't know. Some years I get the shot, some years I don't. I have to ask Marissa if I even got it last year. I don't know, but I got to get out of here. So stay well. What did you want to talk about quickly?
DJT,
yeah,
James Street reporting a 3.7% stake in DJT during their 13GA. We know they also have a stake in OPEN. I'm not being rude, Trump. Come on now. I'm just telling you guys what happened. So DJT.
Thank you very much, Dara.
There we go.
You're welcome.
Just wanted to know. All right, quickly. So tomorrow's vote right here, 58% green, 42% red. Adara, this is your pick. Green or red tomorrow at the Open at 9:30.
9:30.
Is the ES, is the S&P 500 green or red? She's going to say, and that's what's going to happen.
Green.
It's going to be green tomorrow, yeah.
I think we'll sell off, but I think it will open green.
All right, so same thing. You got the same thought as Neil. I think red tomorrow. We open red and we stay that way, but we'll see. Hopefully not.
I think it'll be down either way. I'm just not sure how we're going to open.
Down either way. See, to me, I almost think the other way. I almost think if we could go red, have a decent flush, and then something happens where, boom, but it's Friday. So hopefully it's not Free Fall Friday. That's Adara. I'm Sean. Thanks, Fabian, for staying late and doing all this for us. Again, thanks to Ramin today, Sharif and Joe and Neil and Brendo. And I think that's it, right? Fabian? I think that's it. And thank you to everybody else as well. Thank you for coming through today. That's Adara. I'm Sean. I won't see you tomorrow. Maybe Adara will.
We'll find
no matter
out.
what, we're live tomorrow at 8:30. So ciao till then. Enjoy your evening.
See ya.
I did everything right and they indicted me.